You know what time it is. All right. Mr. Crag is helping me climb my rank. Oh, actually, hold on. I'm gonna show you guys a video real quick while I eat of a game I had earlier today. I'm just gonna put it on screen. Literally, I think the most annoying game I've ever played in my entire life. I would do anything ever to not be matched against this person ever again. Hold on.
I know what time it is. What time is it?
Well, you already know, don't you? Okay. I'm just gonna have this play real quick right here. I need you to see how bad this was. Don't know why the audio is...
I just wanted to make sure you know.
Don't know why the audio is fucking up. Oh, let me try switching it to the other version I have of this and see if it doesn't fuck up the audio. No, I guess it just does that. It wasn't doing that on Discord. Not that I heard anyway. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, so I was fighting this Forsburn in ranked as Crag. Just... This was it. This is all he does. He still manages to take 2 stocks off of me. This is all he does for 13 fucking minutes in both games. This is it. If I got close, he would attack, but otherwise, just jump and ledge grab. Jump and ledge grab. Literally the most annoying person I've ever played in any fucking game ever. I was like, oh, okay, I'll block the ledge. I don't know if he was just trying to farm Forsburn's back air. Because, like, he does kill me with it at one point, which is it's a good back air. Yeah, he gets me that time on the pillar. Like, the second I have him on stage, he dies. And he wouldn't do it on the other ledge either. Because that's low poly Crag. This is an intentionally low poly skin. It's from the event that's happening right now, which is 3D Rivals, which is supposed to be like, there's a bunch of skins that like mimic like when like the N64 like came out and it was like we were first getting into 3D. There's a Raster, a Rano, Crag, and a Clarion skin. And I really like low poly Crag. You may think at some point push has to come, push comes to shove, right? But no, he just will not stop doing this. I don't know why. His shielding was good. He had like good control of his character. He had good back airs. He had good combos. His throws were good. When he wants to fight, he was a good fighter. He just didn't want to fight. I mean, the matches are only 8 minutes long, but like, you'll see what I did in game 2. God, Forsburn's up air is so mean. No clue what's up with the audio. Did it just to make you upset? So I was intentionally using Krag's Rock Break here because you can break it with specific attacks and that sends it flying in different ways. Like down tilt sends it flying at like the up angle like that. I was intentionally using that to, hold on, let me just like pause it for a second so we can fix the audio. I was intentionally using that to clear the smoke since he was trying to like spam a bunch of smoke. I wish this would get fixed. It's not like this on the Discord. Oh, is the audio just gone now? Guess so. I truly do not know what he wanted from me here. And then he fucked up recovery, and that's how I won game 1. It's back? Oh, I don't hear it. I'm just gonna mute it since it's being weird. So that's how I won game 1, and then said, not sure if you're serious, and I'm bored. I love that Fleet has those as emotes. So then he switches to Loxodont, another heavy character. You don't hear it now because I muted it, since it was just clipping. Brother, what is going on? You know what? Hold on. Fuck this. I'll just play it manually. At least then you can hear the damn audio. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Just group these together. Here we go. Okay, so let me go to where he switches to Loxodon. Why do you not want to? Actually, maybe that's personal. You don't have to answer that. Sorry. Kind of, that might be a personal question. Oh, well, okay. So here's Loxodont. Here's more of the same. Kate, you said there had to be an anti-cheese tactic. There is. Although, here's the other thing, right? Here's the other thing. So I let myself fall here and I just lay on the ground, like completely like, you can let yourself do a tumble, and then I just laid on the ground without getting up, right? Because I was like, oh, well, I'm just going to run out this timer, I guess. But then it's like this guy was like, I don't know, it's like he wanted to teach me or something. Like he was trying to Mr. Miyagi me or some shit. It's like he wanted me to engage with him at the edge, but didn't want me to just like give up. Because look, I lay down and then look what he does. When I get up, he's like, okay, now, like he starts coming to me, and then I get up and he's like, okay, now I'll go back to the edge. Anyway, this is the anti-cheese, is to just keep throwing my rocks at him. If I time it right, they'll hit him, and it'll just keep building up percentage on him. You may be thinking, why are you showing this to us, Kyria? This is boring. If I had to sit through it, so do you! I just don't know what the fuck this guy wanted. You could make it work. You could eat Freya. I'm watching it now for the third time, and I just can't fathom what he wanted me to do. He was losing. It's not like this was ever a good strategy. In all of the games, he was losing. God, probably. I don't know what he wanted. I'm still 3 stocks and he's 1. What did he want? What was this doing for him? I don't get it. Like, I know that people have been playing this game kind of passive and avoidy, but if I get close, he attacks. If I stop trying to play, like if I just put my controller down and stop trying to play, he attacks. If I like let him attack me, he will continue to attack me and do a combo. I don't get it. This was actually such a bad match that I just stopped playing for the rest of the day. I was like, this sucks. What? Already? What the heck? Oh. All right. Good night, Joey. No, you don't have to. I just like it when you're here. But I don't want to mess up your sleep schedule. I love you too. Go get some sleep. I'll see you tomorrow. Mwah. More or less, yeah. And 28 seconds for both of those matches, by the way. Almost the max length possible considering both matches had an 8-minute timer. Genuinely awful, genuinely terrible. I never want to fight that guy again for as long as I live. Because he's good. Because he's fucking ass and I don't want to deal with him. But that's okay. Good on you for sticking in there. Well, if I had left, I would have given him rank. And like, I'm petty enough to be like, no, this motherfucker is not getting rank off of me. That's not happening. Like, if I had left at any point, if I just forfeited, I would have given up rank and he would have gotten some, and I would have not let that happen. If I got him right now, I might forfeit. I might. I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't. I bet that's why he does it. Well, he was in stone tier, so same tier as me, so it wasn't working for him. By the way, if anybody who owns this game wants to fight, let me know. I am more than happy to fight. I'm down to fight. Oh, that also reminds me. I have a thing, chat. I have a thing. Hold on. I'll put this where it needs to be in a second. I have a overlay. Oh no, it's a Rano. I'm gonna fucking die. There we go.
Fuck.
Money underscore of underscore
Money
bugs.
of
Give
bugs.
Money underscore many underscore bugs a subscription.
So many
Money
bugs.
underscore of
Thank you,
bugs.
thank you.
Gifted
I'm
a
assuming
tier
that's
1
bugs
sub
to bugs.
Many underscore many
In which case, thank you.
bugs. They are given 15 gift subs in the channel.
Oh my god. We were just showing how we were having very not thrilling or enjoyable fights before. Also, Cyberpunk, thank you for the follow. Fucking Christ. I like it. It's a good bit. Does that kill you? Probably not. Okay. Fuck off. Grim, thanks for the follow. All the follows. All at once. No, the orbs are poison. The orbs around it are poison. Goodbye. Could we not, Rano, detail me to death? Fuck, I'm dead. Hold on. This is a beefy rhinoceros beetle? Yes, his name is Crag. Hold on, sorry. I just like this overlay better for this game. Make myself a little tinier and pull this up to like here-ish. Okay. I love Crag. Crag's pretty good. I have been maining him a bit. This way you can see my inputs and also I can see my own inputs. You do kind of block the percentages, which is a little bit of a shame, but I could probably fix that. Was there a raid earlier or something? No, why? Well, I appreciate that, Cyber. Even though I'm quite bad at rivals. I'll get out of stone rank one day. Oh. My streams do fuck nasty is the thing. Fuck! Yeah, I should have seen that coming. I'll be honest, sometimes I just have this song on repeat when I'm playing. Like, I turn the music off and I just have the Rivals of Aether 1 version of this song on repeat because I just fucking love this song. That was interesting. I gotta down throw more. I gotta down throw and crag more. Nope. It's fucking downpour all of a sudden? Well, you could beat Homecoming in that time. Did we ever tell you that? Or is it the other way around? Yeah, I should have. Let's go! Let's go! Should I mix him up with the fleet? Should I mix him up with the fleet? Nah, he kicked my ass. His ass is still gonna be in Rano, so he'd kick my ass. Yeah, the low poly Krag skin is great. I'm kind of sad that the only free one is Raster because I don't like Raster. He's like fine. He's actually probably one of the best characters in the game. I just really do not. I don't get him. I should have ledge hogged there. And you know what? I will do so here. There we go. I am a Maypole Fleet player, but I've recently picked up Krag, and he's pretty fun. Oh, I'm dead. Yeah. Bye. No, 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 no. Ooh, I think his neutral air outpaces my forward. Ooh. Oh, I'm so good. That is not a recovery I should have lived. What? I grabbed. That's interesting. A Rano who can't down tilt me at 200% must be furious. He wants the D-tilt so bad. And I can't blame him, honestly. I would want it too. What? What? How did I live that? And that killed him? Are you joking? Oh, I feel bad. I don't deserve that. I don't deserve that. Oh, I do not deserve that. He absolutely deserves that stock on me. Like, oh my God, that was... Yikes. That was brutal. Holy fuck. Oh my God. Oh, I feel dirty. Okay, hold on. That was awesome. This game fucking rules. I need people to buy this game to play it with me. I'm gonna change my overlay real quick though. Hold on. Oh, you know what overlay would probably be really good for this, actually? Not this one. This one. This probably be better. Yeah, that works better. And then, I can just get... I can move myself back into the... move myself up to here in my little room. And then I can take the controller overlay. I can move it like up here. I want this controller overlay partially for me because I want to be able to look at my own inputs and be like, why was I doing that thing? But also partially for you guys so you can be like, oh, how does that thing work? And then you can see me do it. Okay.
Mama, can you pay for my RuneScape membership?
Sure. It'll come to consoles eventually, but yeah, same. Although it's got a good amount of players right now. It's got 5K players per day. That's pretty good.
I lied, it's a prescription to Wheelie Soap Unlimited.
I know.
Can you pay for my child's college?
You don't have a child. Anyway, I know it's a prescription to Wheelie Soap Unlimited. I see the credit card statement, stupo.
I do now.
Oh, my thumb is like locking up, which is not great. Game had
No child that
if
you
I
know
had
of
this game and had it banana guard,
I
it'd
do.
destroy you.
I'm
Yeah.
holding my child right now. See, it even has its name.
That's not your child, baby. You're eating it. That's your food.
What is clearly Zilk in the mustache? Hello, I'm the child.
Ah. Who is he? Oh no, it's a Crag
Saturn
Ditto.
devouring his soap.
It's a Crag Ditto. Well, that's not great. Oh no, he's probably better than me at Crag. Oh no. Fuck. I'm already at 103%. He's way better than me at Crag. Yeah, football Crag is one. It turns his pillar into a giant goal, and his soccer ball, or his cube into a square-shaped soccer ball. Oh god, he's so much better than me. Oh, I'm fucked. Missed my chance to play a flirt? Yeah, of course you did. That shit gets played in like hour like 1, like sub hour 1. I think it shit gets played in like hour like 15 minutes in. Brother, die! Fuck off! Christ! Okay, you're just gonna let me keep doing this? Because I'm cool with it. Oh, I really thought I would super armor through that.
Very Gay Molly just cancelled the last card.
Damn.
I thank you sincerely.
Symphomat, thank you for the follow.
Han Han Han, and Lit Invisible.
I'm bringing out the fleet. I'm bringing out Crag's worst enemy, the fleet. Oh, do I be a huge dick? No, because it's easier for Crag to recover than most other people, so that's not a huge thing for him. This one sucks for him though, because it doesn't have a, or it has a super high box. Fleet's kind of goated with the sauce, especially against heavy characters. Damn, if I'd released that like a second earlier. Yeah, I deserve that for jumping right into him while he had iframes and I didn't. Okay. Today I learned my smash attack arrows cannot break that rock. Wow, I didn't expect to do that good. Jesus Christ. When did my fleet get so good? What the fuck? What the fuck? When that happened? Oh, he switched to Arcane. Fuck, I'm dead. I'm so dead. I don't want that and I don't want that.
Rebel 1. Fight.
Rebel 1? What? I have to not fight him near his water. And that's why. Why did I go into that? Oh, I'm dead. Yeah, I don't win this. I don't win this already. I can tell. Got me at fucking got a stock when I'm at 20 or he's at 28 and I'm now a stock down. Nah, I don't win these. Helps if I do the direction correctly. I don't understand how you play Arcane.
Heaven
like
or hell. Fuck. I mean fight.
your brain has to be on a different level to play this fucking thing. All of his attacks are backwards and I hate it. No, he doesn't. What happened to my fucking side B? Oh my god. It's not the time for my fucking thumb to be locking up. Yeah, I should have seen that coming. I at least want a stock. I will feel good if I can get a stock. I know what you're trying to do. All right. I disagree with the length of that jab, but sure. Yeah, Arcane's cute. The problem isn't that Arcane isn't cute. Of course he's cute. The problem with Arcane is not that he's cute, or that he isn't cute. He's cute. The problem with this, his back air is his forward air, and his forward air is his back air, and his smash attacks aren't any good unless you're on your puddle. But your puddle is also your trap, but also your recovery, but also his fucking his down air is his neutral air. Like I don't. He's such a confusing character to play. It feels like all of his inputs are wrong. You have to like play your brain backwards to play Arcane. Yeah, I'm dead. Honestly, good on him. Good GG. Good game. I'm proud of that fleet though. Did you guys see that fucking fleet match? The one against Crag? I fucking owned, dude. Genuinely, I'm proud of that. That shit was cool. Hold on, let me show you. Let me show you what I mean. So for every other character, when they do their forward air, because when you go in the air, you have different attacks. You have a forward attack, you know, this one. You have an up attack and a down attack, and then you also have a neutral attack, which is this one. His neutral attack is a spin, which is what a lot of people's are. That turns him into turns his whole body into a hitbox. This is pretty normal. A lot of people have neutrals like this. That's fine. Except also, this is his down air. It also turns his whole body into a hitbox. It turns into a bigger hitbox, better, like a better version of his neutral air. Why is that his down air? And on almost everybody else, their down air is an attack that hits down. On Arcane, it turns into a fucking football. Like, hold on. Let me frame advance this. He turns into a football and spins. And that's cool and all, but why is that the move? His forward air, on everybody else, your forward air is an attack that you like you jump and you hit forward. His forward air sends him backwards. His forward air sends bubbles forward and sends him backwards. The bubbles do basically piddly damage. They're not worth anything. The bubbles are shit. Instead, if you want to hit somebody with it, like here, I can show you. Hold on. We'll do add CPU. Add that on the Zetterburn. Okay. With anybody else, if they do their forward air, they would just hit forward, right? For Arcane, the bubbles do fuck all for damage. If I can, here. They do fuck all for damage. Each one does like a %, but like, unless you were point blank, even then he got hit by like 2. He got hit by 3 there. They do fuck all for damage. However, if I can get the short hop, that did like 6 damage or like 6 or 8 damage or whatever. That took him from 16 to 23. That took 6% there, 7% there. I can land it consistently. 44 there, like 37 to 44. Like that does a lot of damage. So to hit like with his forward air, you have to use his forward air like it's a back air. His back air, meanwhile, is this, which is a really, really, really good attack. Like insanely good. It even has a sweet spot right where that little like star is. It has a little sweet spot there that does a fuck ton of damage and can very easily kill. But it you can only access it by doing his back air, which is like doing back airs is much harder because you have to, if I want to do a back air at this guy, I have to run up at him, turn around, turn around and then do that without like somehow without losing all of my without like doing a forward air by accident or whatever. I mean, if I was trying to get close to him and do it like that, I would just, you know, I'd end up doing that. And the forward air is also controllable with the stick. You can send yourself even further or run past him slightly. I mean, yes, kind of, but that just puts you in a bad position. It's also still like pretty hard to do. So like his back air should be his forward air should be his back air, his down air should be his neutral. All of his attacks, or a lot of his attacks, are based off of this puddle right here. So this puddle right here, I can do a ton of things with it. I can teleport to it, which is also a kill move, by the way. Can you, sir, can you please? Come on. I'm gonna shit. Come on. Can I please? Okay, here we go. So this should be enough. Yeah. So this is also a kill move. So like teleporting to it is a kill move. Like that's a thing. But also, if I press down B, it turns into bubbles, which you can use to like trap people out, which is good. If I press down B and I don't have one, I send a puddle instead. So I have two ways to send a puddle. My neutral B sends a puddle, or I can down B for a puddle, unless I have a puddle, in which case it does bubbles. And then also, if there's a puddle out and I grab somebody and I press special B, I teleport to the puddle, and then that consumes the puddle. Because also, these are Arcane's strong attacks, right? He shoots a little plume of water, right? Little splash of water. Okay, if you do those on top of the puddle, the easiest one to show is the side B. It doubles its range and its power. So like, there's so many interactions, and also the puddle is a hurt box. It just does damage all on its own. Like, there's so much to remember with Arcane, and like, I'm sorry, my brain is not big enough to remember to do any of this stuff. My brain is not big enough to remember, like, oh, I should down air when I want a neutral air. Oh, when I want a back air, I should actually, when I want a back air, I should actually turn around and then forward air to get my back air. Like, that's too much. Yeah, he's cute, but it's too much. I really want to get good at him, but it's too much. Also, he's incredibly slippery. Like watch my control up there. Watch when I stop moving. Look how much he continues to move. Like when I let go, look how much he continues to move. Incredibly slippery character. Yeah, he's puppy, but he's an annoying puppy. Oh yeah, and also he has this his side B is weird as well, because his side B basically like makes him like teleport forward into an attack or whatever, but it how much you teleport depends on how much you press the stick. So if I just press it, I barely teleport at all. And in fact, if I go this way and then hold backwards, I actually just show up in the same place. Like, there's too many, that's too much. There's too many mind games with Arcane. I think he is actually one of the best characters, but it's too much. I can't play Arcane. I'm sorry. Arcane's too much. Also, a good Arcane is like fucking terrifying. It is a very technical character. There's not really a Smash analog either. There is no character that plays like Arcane. Like Wolf fucking Zetterburn plays like Project M Wolf. Fleet plays like Project M Pit. There's not really anybody who plays like Maypole. There's not really anybody who plays like Arcane. Forsburn kind of plays like a bunch of different characters. Want to fight? Yes. I absolutely do. And I want to see you put all that tech I showed you to use yesterday. Arcane's great. You're not gonna make me say Arcane is bad. It's just that Arcane is too hard. Moon Lily, I've joined Grave Place VC if you would like to be part of it. Hello, hello. I'm gonna move you right down there. So you're below me as God intended. Gradually approaching buying this just because I miss Ultimate. It's a good game, and despite how much I complain about being bad at it and a bunch of other stuff, I do believe it is a very accessible game. Rude. Rude. Okay. All right. All right. I see how we're playing this game.
My shield button. I forgot it.
Oh no!
I was fucking with controls, and I think I forgot to rebind it.
Oh no!
I'll beat you anyway.
I like the confidence. I like the confidence. What? I didn't think that was gonna grab me. Wow, owie. Has never played melee voice. It's good, but it's no melee. Did really advanced tech without knowing it there. Unless it was on purpose, in which case I'm even more impressed.
Which thing?
You pressed your down B to do the like explosion thing that you can do, but you didn't have any stocks, and when you or any magma, and when you do that, he does a fall animation for a second, and it canceled your momentum and stopped you from getting hit by one of my attacks that would have killed you.
I forget I have the down B, honestly.
It is a very good movement tool. Fucking meatball. Fucking meatball on my homie. Fuck off! Okay. I see you've learned how good the meatball is. Oh, I mistimed one of my fucking smash attacks there. If I hadn't, you'd be dead. Oh my god, how'd you give me that much of a run for my money without a fucking shield button? I love you, Fleet. I love you so much. She doesn't miss, by the way.
1 second.
Yeah, bind your controls. By the way, I love a bunch of the things that I have gotten from like the like emotes you can get, right? The little ones you can put in the chat. Like I learned a lot this lesson is really, or this session is really good. Astonishing is really good. Not sure if you're serious is really good. I'm bored. That's really good. Even the scared yet one is pretty good. When will I ever use welcome to the third dimension? When will I ever use this one?
How do you access those?
You hit A, you move your cursor over the center and hit A.
Oh, okay.
What are the toxic BM emotes? Go easy on me when you're beating somebody's ass is a toxic one. Like when you're absolutely going to like demolish somebody, you're like, hee, go easy on me. Or if you win and go, I'll get you next time, fuck off. I'm gonna give you a disadvantage by trying to learn this fucking character. Oh, is that how you do that? Okay. I just don't like this character's vibes. Like, he is canonically racist, so... Because he's there laughing at Eliana for being a snake and wanting to join the Air Armada and her thing. Yes, in Eliana's trailer, the one where they revealed her, her whole thing is that she really wants to join the Air Armada, which is the air like people's like thing. And so Eliana really wants to join the Air Armada, but she's a snake, and so she can't fly. So she makes machines that help her fly because she keeps passing the written test, but she has to show that she can actually like use the power of like wind. So she keeps making machines that show that she can fly, and then she keeps failing and like not making it across this like gap or whatever. And eventually, like they keep humoring her because they think it's funny, and they keep laughing at her every time she fails. But she eventually does make it across, and when she does make it across, they go, "Oh, cool, glad you made it across, but I'm never gonna let a fucking belly crawler like you into the Air Armada." And he's not the main one like that is there when it's happening, but he is there laughing at her. He's not the one that says that to her, to be fair, but... Oh, I hate this fucking bird. What am I supposed to do?
You're so right about the ball.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah, I was thinking of it as like, it doesn't do damage, but yeah, using it as a distraction and as like a hazard is so much better.
Yeah, you turn yourself into a stage hazard. It's insane.
It's just more stress for them. And that's how I thrive in games, is making my enemy afraid.
It sure is.
Bitch. I can't match them in reflexes or anything, so I have to rely on psychological tactics.
We're doing a fucking lore match.
So few polygons. Fuck you, Future Trunks.
Oh yeah, so that is one thing to know. If you parry a jab, so like when I'm just pressing A and doing my jab and not doing any direction, that won't stun me the way that all the other parries do. Jabs are the only thing safe on parry. It took too long. You gotta throw me. do not understand how to play this character either.
Just built around the parry to create that field. Okay, Marth.
It is Marth's up smash. You're not wrong. I like how whenever you get stunned, you have like a really prominent like eyeball showing. Like when one of your yellow eyeballs like bulges out.
Fucking fly. There we go.
I just really hate her dash attack because it's like a jump forward and it like spacing is really important on her, so it's like very difficult for me. Like it's difficult if I'm trying to move a little bit forward, but I do a dash and then I hit A and suddenly I've jumped like 20 meters. Oh my god. Well, I had a comfortable 2-stock lead. Every time that goes way further than I think it will. Oh my god! Like, I'm not good at Clarion, but that I had a 3-stock lead on. Oh my god, the fucking map. Jesus Christ. Should not have been that close. Goomfy wins? Goomfy wins no matter what, you fool! You know what my thumb feels like right now? Like, I keep saying it's like locking up. You know that feeling like you need to pop your joint, but it just won't do it? It's like that. It's like that, and sometimes it's like noticeable to the point it feels like it kind of like locks the movement for a second. It doesn't actually, I can still move it, but it's like there's just like this like pressure in it almost. Fucking, it's the worst. The bone bubble? I think I'm just, I'm like overusing it because it's not used to like doing this much work on a controller. Fuck! I cannot approach!
The little fox.
I'm a panther!
What the fuck ever. Oh, the dash is so weird. It's like there's like a sweet spot where it does damage, but I can never spacing.
Oh, on mine, it's where I was standing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a sweet spot where it does damage and a sweet spot, an even smaller sweet spot where it does the like stun effect, and that's it's where I was standing. It's okay, Eve. You can cheer against the streamer. I understand the instinct. That is contrarian, especially for you. You're usually the first one to cheer for my downfall. Do I need to iron my pride tongue? Okay. I didn't think that was gonna hit me. They should have given Loxodon a low poly skin just because A, low poly elephant would have been funny, but B, could you imagine the low poly just like 6 polygon fucking meatball? Fuck. I should have ledge hogged there. No!
You're pathetic.
Damn it, Clarion's kind of fun.
You don't deserve.
I should buy
Clarion's what?
Clarion's kind of fun. I'm not good at her. She's kind of fun. I should buy you the fucking Chef Loxodon skin just so you have the literal meatballs. Gotta make low poly skins for the whole roster, right? I'm sure if they ever rerun this event, they'll probably do it for the other people, yeah. Oh, it's the worst song of the two that can play on this stage. Still a good song, but it's not the good one. I gotta stop playing that dangerous game where I'm like, if I charge an attack under where you're gonna land, and if I do it just right, I'll get you before the hurt box comes out. There's just no reason to play the game that dangerous. Also, I just didn't up B there. Whoops. Oh, well, okay. Yeah, fair enough. Fuck. You learned the tech, which is that you just wait behind the Clarion. Why did that hit me when I was there before? I've gotten hit by a Clarion doing exactly that, just resting on the edge. What the fuck? That's gotta be stage dependent. I gotta learn to parry more. I just don't do it.
Yeah, you do.
It's not just me, a lot of people don't do it. Like, you've watched the games I've played, nobody online does it. I don't know why. Nobody online fucking parries, including me.
You don't deserve power.
I don't think people are, I don't think they care about the low poly skins that much. Oh yeah, I forgot I got this color from Maple.
Shit. Ah, shit.
Hello. Well, one of us is gonna have to change. It's not gonna be me, let me tell you right now. Oh, it makes my little guy orange and purple. That's cute. fucking god damn it. Press the wrong button. I'm so afraid of being off stage, and every time I think whoa, I was looking at the wrong thing. Whoops. Thanks. Ah, my fucking thumb. I unironically got confused because we're both orange. I was looking for the green. Well, fuck me. I don't know why I didn't hold on to the wall there. Oh god, this intro with two of them playing at the same time is so fucked up. Okay.
Oh wow.
Snap my fucking thumb out of its socket.
I've never seen that. I think that's my first run win.
Really?
Yeah.
It is a good win screen. I already see you improving your combo DI. I can see the arrows that you're like using to, or that you're pushing away from me when I hit you. Oh yeah, your up air and your back air are some of your strongest moves on Forest Burn, by the way. Your back air especially is a huge kill tool.
Back air, so if I...
Yep, that one right there.
It doesn't look strong.
I promise it is. That shit will kill me at like 90. I know, because I've had it happen. Get out of your damn shadow.
Thanks, dude.
How dare you? First of all, God, I have to, that's something else I have to do. I have to stop just like watching people, like, I just watch them when they're off stage and hope they'll die. I'm too scared to like go off stage and like try to gimp them. You can also do a thing with Forsburn where you can like throw yourself with your clone when you're in the air.
Yeah.
Which will help with recovery.
I think I need one out though.
I don't think so. I think if you side B and then I think you hold the side B, you'll like throw yourself, but I don't know.
Huh.
I don't play Forsburn, so I don't know. I just know you can do it. Rude. Whew. See, I gotta do shit like that more. Crag has a down spike punch. I gotta use it. Do you even know where you are half the time?
I do, yeah.
You bitch.
Yeah, it probably is a lot more confusing if you're not controlling it.
You literally fucking came out from the shadows behind and tried to grab me. That was some like Assassin's Creed shit. What the hell? What the fuck? Oh. You're exhausting to fight.
This is how fleet matches feel as Loxodon.
Yeah, I can imagine. Holy! First of all, I can't believe they killed it at 85. But secondly, holy fuck!
I think my issue with Forsburn was that I keep trying to go for combos, which is not his thing, it seems like. I want to get like a long string, but I'm not good at that.
You want to go for air combos with him. His air stuff is really good. Specifically, his up air is insane. Fuck you.
Oh my god. Chat, help.
Fuck you. I'm taking you to the bad stage.
I don't know any of Arcane's moves.
Fuck! Well,
wait, what?
I was trying to. That's fine. You can recover. That's my fault. I was trying to get on the ledge to do a thing, but it fucking sucks because this stage is bad. Also, as far as not knowing any of Arcane's moves, don't worry, me either.
Oh, that's actually adorable when he struggles against the grab. Let me see. Let me do it.
Let me do it again. I think you have to like throw me forwards or throw me backwards, I guess. I don't know. I saw what you were talking about. I saw the frame you were talking about. Throw me forwards. Yeah, there we go. Aww. You're like, no, get off. Want to see something fucked up that Arcane can do?
Mm-hmm.
I can go across the entire. That's Arcane's ledge get up. I become invincible and can go across the entire stage and get up whenever I want.
Oh my god. Okay, apparently my clone has to be near me for me to do the throw.
Yeah, it does. I think you can do it like immediately after you do the side B since it's near you then, but yeah.
Yeah.
That's so true, Vivian.
Oh shit.
Oh,
yeah, that time I lost track of myself.
Yeah, I was like, I thought you were your clone. I like the orange Fanta on this windscreen. I like the mist of orange Fanta. His windscreen is really cute. Okay, I'm gonna stop now because my thumb hurts. Thanks for playing though.
Thank you.
Oh. Chat, Moon Lily tough. Also, hold on, I'm gonna show you some of the Rivals trailers. Specifically, I'm gonna show you the one with Raster being bad, and then I'm gonna show you the Arcane one that shows that he's a demigod. Here you go. Here's Eliana's. It's not voice, so I'll read it out. I cannot wait until she comes to Rivals 2. All her life, Eliana dreamt of flying high above Aether. One day, the opportunity finally presented itself. I want you for Air Armada, nearest recruiting airships. Our Air Armada recruitment airship. Get lost, Snake. You can't join the Air Armada if you can't fly. Sir, I was born to fly. Later that day. Somehow you've proven your flight knowledge. This is Raster, by the way. That's him right there. But now it's time for the flight test. Look at her little determined face. She fell. Eliana returned home, humiliated. But she would not be deterred. She tried again, and again, until finally, she did it! Well now, that was quite the show, wasn't it? Rise. Now let's do a reality check. Did you really think a filthy belly crawler like you could join the Air Armada? Whatever hope you had to stay here? Be gone with it! If Eliana was going to reach the skies, she would need help. Julesvale, where Fleet is from. You're fired! I will find someone else to finish the machine. Ha, sure you will. Maybe when pigs fly. What about snakes? I need a flying machine. The rabbit and the snake made a great pair. Ayala knew everything about steam machines, and Eliana knew everything about flying. It can fly, but not for long without overheating. I'm gonna crash. We'll finish it in the morning. The next day. You added weapons? I thought you wanted to join the Air Armada. No. I'm going to destroy it. Eliana, the aerial arsenal. She's so good. I seriously cannot wait until she gets added. I want her to get added so badly. I know for a fact she will. I know all the characters are returning, but God, I need her. By the way, lore-wise, the way Eliana works, she doesn't show up in the lore after this. Like, this is her origin story, and then she's just kind of stuck around after this. She's not in much of the story after this, but lore-wise, she basically becomes the Red Baron after this and goes around, like, shooting down Air Armada, like, fleets and stuff. Like fleets of ships. Like, she just becomes, like, a menace of the Air Armada. Like, single-handedly taking down giant ships multiple times. I think the Air Armada has, like, a code purple or something, which stands for Eliana. Like, it means that Eliana is trying to come to kill you, and she's probably going to succeed. She becomes an actual, honest-to-God, like, straight-up terrorist to the Air Armada. Good for her. And then, let me show you Orcane's trailer in Rivals 2. That confirms a long-standing theory.
Avast, friend! Rest a spell! Have you ever heard of the Polakai Islands? They all share the same legend. The gods were warring all over Aether, Sophie.
So back in Aether's times, or back in the Legends era of the Aether universe, there were 4 gods that each were basically given by like a great deity or whatever. They were each given like complete dominion and control over an element of wind, fire, earth, and rock. This was the goddess of water.
Goddess Marinus fled to escape the fighting. Alone she cried, shedding all her burdens. Her anger, her sorrow, and even her joy. Now, that tear of joy, legend says it went astray, and I hear it's wandered all the way to Merchant Port.
So yeah, Orcane is literally a demigod made of pure joy and happiness. Because each of those 3 tiers are like real beings that exist. They're all the gods of the Polakai Islands. He is literally Marinus's joy, like, personified. And he's specifically taking a liken to the merchant port. Who composed the music for this game? Rezo Force. I don't know who that is, but I know that they did it for Rivals 1 and Rivals 2. Which, by the way, hold on. Can we jam out to my favorite song real quick? Hold on. Wait, there it was. Earth and Division. It's so good. This is why I always pick that stage, Moonley. I don't quite like the Rivals 2 one as much. Let me pull it up. To Earthen Division. I don't like this one as much because it's kind of more almost big bandy. Like it's just gotten like a bigger, more orchestrated sound font, but it's still good. For me, that one's like a 9 out of 10, and this one's a 10 out of 10. Oh yeah, also, I don't think I've ever shown the Clarion and Loxodont trailer that shows their lore. Their lore is kind of fucked. Yeah, Rezo Forest compositions by Flashy Goodness and Moonsailor or Monsailor? I think it's Moonsailor. These people composed the music for Rivals 1 and for Dungeons of Aether. I think it's either Dan's friends or somebody who he works with very closely.
I sacrificed everything to get here. Everything. And now, I've reached the past.
The Flame Salvation.
Here I will change my destiny. It's time. I have tech they can't imagine. Granduncle Zetterburn, I will find you. I will protect you. And I will kill Loxodont.
So that actually confirms in the lore. There's a bunch of stuff that the trailers for this game confirmed lore-wise. Forsburn is her dad. Forsburn and Clarion, which is Clarion's name with a Y after the I or before it, I can't remember. But Clarion is the leader of the Smoke Tribe, which is the one that Forsburn gets exiled to after it is implied that he killed him and Zetterburn's father. Because Loxodont framed him so he could take over the flame. Should we just watch the lore video, chat? Do you guys want to watch the Rivals lore video? Technically, I'm supposed to end now, but do you guys just want to watch the Rivals lore video? It's really fun. There's a lot of insane lore. But she calls Zetterburn Granduncle Zetterburn, so that confirmed if Zetterburn is her uncle, then Forsburn would have to be her father.
A would-be usurper.
Or, well, her grandfather, rather.
I will abide no vanity. I will suffer no treason. And I will tolerate no upstarts.
I love their little lore battle they got going on. I'm also just a really big fan of the way that Clarion says, I will kill Loxodont here. Hold on.
Granduncle Zetterburn, I will find you. I will protect you. And I will kill Loxodont.
I don't know. She says it with such, like, conviction. I like it. It's good. All right, fuck it. Rivals lore time. It's only an hour long.
Rivals of Aether, one of the most badass technical platform fighters to ever do it. Housing a unique cast of characters with their own backstories and lore, the roster has really grown from a pretty pitiful state to a truly incredible cast of fighters. That's right, you saw the title. I'm talking about the lore of Rivals of Aether. Now, the Rivals lore is infamous for having its high peaks and very questionable lows, but I decided I wanted to give a swing at it. I
don't really know why he says that. That's not true.
This universe and uncovering the world of Aether. Obviously, this is a way more niche topic that a lot of people probably don't care about, and of course, the gameplay definitely comes first for most people's opinion of Rivals. But if you want to take my word for it, the lore is also really interesting and a lot more fascinating than you might think. Especially given that the first game's story mode was kind of mid, but there is a lot more to the story than just the story mode. From the Fire Imperium to the bustling streets of Julesvale, we'll be diving into the stories of its heroes, its villains, and the twists and turns of Aether. Spanning the contents of Rivals of Aether, Dungeons of Aether, Rivals 2, which by the way, amazing beta, I love that game so much already, Creatures of Aether, Lovers of Aether, maybe, Tales of Aether, and hell, I read about everything I could find online on the topic. With the help of some of the community's self-proclaimed lore masters, we managed to scavenge some very important details and hidden connections to better grasp this world for all of you. And I mean, we were uncovering hidden details that we didn't even know by looking at old Google slides made by Dan himself. So whether you're completely new to the series or a bit of a lore master yourself, maybe you can learn a thing or two here. So, let's get right into it and hop into the complete history of Rivals of Aether. But wait, before we can really get into the full history, we do need to explain some basic building blocks that make up the universe. I'll try and keep it brief, but there will be a little bit of info dumping here at the start. So, what exactly is the Aether universe? Essentially, all of the games made by Aether Studios all take place in one connected overarching world. Now, to be more specific on what the world of Aether is, it's essentially anything that takes place here, the continent of Aether. Also, I call it Aether, not Aether, so sorry. Pretty much anything that happens in the story takes place here on this continent. Now, there are a few locations that are hinted at that aren't on the continent of Aether, but much like Runeterra and League of Legends, this is pretty much the only continent that matters right now. Although I do want to warn right now, since the universe is nearly a decade old, a lot of stuff has randomly gotten retconned or never really explained again, so while the majority of this video is pretty much solely backed with evidence, there are a few places that just aren't very clear and things just kind of happen randomly. One of the best examples is Merchantport. Sometimes it's called, and I kid you not, Watertown. Very creative, Mr. Finasi. But also often the entirety of the town is also referred to as Merchantport. So for this video, we'll be calling it Merchantport. Anyways, the continent of Aether is made up of a vast variety of differing biomes, with vast extremes from volcanoes to lush forests and desolate deserts. The world of Aether is pretty much any type of biome smashed together into one supercontinent Pangea style. And among these various locales is a plethora of diverse flora and fauna, or wildlife, yeah, I had to look that one up. And it's the living beings of Aether, some of which may or may not be rivals, that the story actually focuses on. So, who exactly are the inhabitants of Aether? Although never officially explained, there's definitely a wide range or scale of more creature-like beings and more civilized beings in the world of Aether. Creatures act more like Pokemon. They're sort of just creatures who, although pretty intelligent, don't seem to have their own culture or civilization. They aren't really capable of any oral or written language as far as we're aware, and act more like everyday animals, purely trying to survive the harsh world around them. On the other side of the spectrum, there are highly intelligent beings, typically with more anthropomorphic characteristics. These range from all types of species and are capable of fabricating highly advanced technology and fostering civilized culture. I mean, to give an example, in the world of Aether, there is both just normal fish, but also fishmen who specialize in fishing. So basically, if you're not a very smart fish, you're gonna get eaten. But anyways, the distinction on who is a creature and who is a sentient being is not really that clear. It's not very black and white, and some creatures are definitely in between. But of course, almost all creatures have a connection to the elements. Which brings me to our last point, the elements of Aether. What exactly are they? In the world of Aether, there are 4 fundamental building blocks that make up this world around us. Fire, water, air, and earth. Sound familiar? These are the primary elements of Aether, and each element was bestowed to the people of Aether by 4 deities of each respective element. These deities seem to have blessed almost all of the creatures with at least some kind of connection to the elements, and those blessed by the divine were capable of harnessing this power for good or for less good. However, it's not just the civilized people. Almost all creatures are also capable of tapping into their elemental connection, and almost all life on Aether seems to possess some sort of connection to the elements. The strength of this connection seems to vary from person to person, some people having more natural talent, while others having to make up for their lack of elemental prowess with their own intelligence. And it's largely unclear if there are really non-elemental beings in the world of Aether, but there are a lot of people who seem to be not quite as in touch with their elemental powers, so those who are naturally gifted seem to be more successful. Now, typically, a person is only capable of controlling one.
Hold on, sorry, I just need to see baby Clarion again. She's so cute. Look at her, she's running around, she's all happy, playing with fire. She's cute.
Gifted seem to be more successful. Now, typically, a person is only capable of controlling one of the 4 elements. However, elements aren't quite as rigid and cemented into one's biological makeup. For starters, each element actually has plenty of sub-elements. So just because you have the ability to control Earth, doesn't mean you'll have the same abilities as somebody else. You could control plants, crystals, or even rocks and stones. And it goes even beyond this. If an individual is skilled enough, given the time, they can learn the technique of elementalism. Basically, elementalism allows anyone to channel their inner avatar and control all of the elements seamlessly.
So fun fact, this character Hodan, who knows elementalism and is a huge pillar of the lore, is a workshop character, because Rivals of Aether added 4 characters that were designed by the community called the Workshop 4 officially to the game as like free characters for everybody, not workshop characters, just official actual characters who are confirmed to be coming back they're confirmed to be coming back into Rivals 2. But like, this guy's an incredibly, imagine making this guy, right, this incredibly important charge character, silly monkey who's like good at all elements, or can access all elements, and is like really like a cornerstone of the lore and incredibly important, to the point that there's a Rivals 2 stage, Ho Dojo, that is his like dojo, that is him in the background. Imagine making that, and he's just a workshop guy. Like, insane.
There's only one character in all of Aether that we know currently who possesses this ability. Also happens to be my main character, kind of the GOAT, but we'll get back to him later. Anyways, this is the world of Aether, with 4 distinct elements, Pokemon-like creatures in various civilizations, as well as plenty of iconic, unique locales. I think we're now ready to get into the actual history of Aether, starting off going all the way back to the era of legend. Long ago, before history, before legend even, the gods of Aether created all life as we know it. These deities blessed the people of Aether with their elemental power, creating the peaceful world of Aether. That was until a great evil arose, deep beneath the earth, known simply as the darkness of the Abyss. The Abyss was an unnatural, powerful essence of pure destruction that threatened to wipe out the entirety of life on Aether. Where it comes from and the true nature of its desires have been lost to time. But what we do know about the Abyss was that it was a potential world-ending calamity. But the people of Aether fought back. A great war was waged for generations, reshaping Aether as we know it. However, the supernatural power of the Abyss was stronger than any elemental might alone could defeat. All elements, all tribes, united together in an attempt to push back the living night. And according to legend, even the gods of Aether themselves fought and joined on the battlefield. To rid the world of this darkness, the gods created special beings of pure elemental power. These were known as the Titans. The Titans were massive creatures of near limitless elemental might that joined in the war against the Abyss. One such Titan was Amathor, a mountain-sized crystal spider, one of the chosen from the god of Earth, Sylvanos. Amethyst's scales contained elemental power that could aid the people of Aether in their fight against the Abyss, and 4 champions from each respective element were bestowed shards from Amethyst's scales. These scales were capable of absorbing the darkness of the Abyss and transforming it into elemental might, using the darkness as a weapon against itself. And using the darkness, each of these scales granted the user a supernatural ability capable of turning the tide of the war. The drop of nourishment was given to the champion of water, Genbu. This shard contained the miraculous properties that allowed the user to heal any ailment or injury, no matter the severity. Genbu granted vitality to the warriors in their struggle against the Abyss, saving thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, in the bloodshed. The Ember of Destruction was given to the champion of fire, Ikaburn. The shard was capable of immense destruction, razing any that stood in its way to the ground. Although legends say that his brother was more deserving of the shard, Amethyst let Ikaburn prove himself on the battlefield as he disintegrated the darkness before him. The Shield of Courage was given to the champion of Earth, Hemiunu. The shield gave the power of unparalleled resistance, to persevere through any blow, no matter the strength. With the shard in hand, Hemiunu became an unbreakable wall in which all of the other champions could rely on against the horrors of the Abyss. And lastly, the Breath of Life was given to the champion of air, Randall. The Breath of Life was perhaps the most supernatural of them all, giving the user essentially immortality. Not only did they have significantly reduced aging, but even if their heartbeat stopped and their pulse disappeared, they would not die. As long as they had the shard in hand, on the battlefield, Randall could not fall. With the power of the shards in hand, and the titans and gods fighting with them, the champions vanquished the darkness, pushing the creatures of the Abyss back from whence they came. To finish this battle once and for all, deep beneath Aether, the 4 champions used a combination of the shards to seal away the Abyss for eternity. And so, the legend of this battle, and the existence of the mighty titans, faded into myth. Some wonder if this battle even occurred, and if these 4 champions were merely fiction.
It's very Greek
thanks
mythology,
to their efforts,
IMO.
life on Aether entered an era of peace and prosperity. But it wouldn't last. With no great evil to unite the elements together, the gods of Aether turned on one another. They fought for dominance of the continent, and soon the people of Aether's alliance shattered with it. One god in particular sought to conquer the entire continent in one vast forest. Sylvanos, the heart of the Aetherian forest.
Playable character, by the way. Just keep in mind that this is a playable character in Rivals 1 that will be coming to Rivals 2 when you hear about all the shit that Sylvanos does. Playable character, by the way.
And the god of Earth. Although he often takes the form of a wolf, Sylvanos is in essence a purely plant-like deity spirit, capable of transforming and shapeshifting into any form that fits his desires. And, well, his desire was to spread the great Aetherian forest as far as the eye could see. Sylvanos was known for his aggression. One fable tells of him chasing the fire god Volcrum across Aether, forcing him to burrow far underground to hide from Sylvanos, as he tunneled across Aether, creating magma tubes all the way until the Firelands far to the east. However, as Sylvanos continued his expansion across Aether and the forest grew with it, the many fire tribes in the Firelands united under one fearsome banner, which would become the Flame Imperium.
This was widely considered a terrible idea
against the forest expansion, starting the era of fire.
Historians have regretted it
marked
ever
by
since.
the start of another great war, which is also known as the Aetherian Forest Fire. Of course, the people of the forest fought to protect their homeland, while the Fire Imperium fought to rid the forest of their lands. During the war, the heart of the forest, Sylvanos, grew cancerous. The desire to expand consumed him, and as such, he expanded into deserts and swamps, places that forests should never grow. Other than the Firelands, almost the entirety of Aether was consumed in forest. And soon, seafaring merchants in the south began to settle on the southern coasts and plundered the lumber from the forest. They used this lumber to make vast amounts of ships, as well as a port city which would later be named Merchant Port. The forest began to shrink, as Sylvanos became weakened from the multiple forces, and the forest dwellers had to come up with a solution to protect themselves from the Fire Imperium and contain the vengeful spirit of Sylvanos. The tree dwellers made a pact with those beneath the ground. They were capable of manipulating rock and stone, and were tasked to construct a mighty wall. These people would later be known as the Wall Runners, and were tasked to protect and maintain this border between the forest and the outside world.
Stage that
However,
I play
to
on
do
a lot
this,
is. That's what
they
the
needed the
wall
help
is.
of the mightiest of mighty, the strongest Wall Runner in all of Aetherian history, Crag, the Earth's Bastion. Crag had complete mastery of Earth, capable of raising pillars of Earth at his command. Without him, they stood no chance at containing the forest deity.
Oh yeah.
With the help of his
on Rivals 2, whenever you're on the Aetherian Forest stage and these things come up on the last the last stock, that's Sylvanos. That's just Sylvanos like coming to kill you.
Containing the forest deity. With the help of his fellow wall runners, Crag was able to construct the supermassive structure known as the Rock Wall. Again, very creative name. The rock wall stood tall and contained the entirety of the forest,
Crag is a Chad,
nearly
yeah.
1/6 of the Aetherian continent. Although, because the heart of the forest was contained, the lands outside the wall became dry and desolate, creating a large disparity between the two sides of the wall. On one side, a lush forest, and the other, a barren wasteland. All of these wall runners were capable of curling up and rolling across the wall, and in fact, they even measured their own lifespans by how many times they would loop the wall. And although Crag did trap Sylvanos, he did not let up. The forest floor became a dark and dangerous place for the ordinary forest dwellers, and those who were wise stuck to the treetops, avoiding coming in contact with the vengeful deity.
So yeah, that's why Sylvanos comes to kill you on your last stock, because he's noticed that you're there. You can't be on the forest floor. You will be killed. Sylvanos will like have the roots and the flowers and everything attack you and pull you into the soil. You like the animals that do live in the Aetherian forest, like Maple, are called the treetop dwellers because they can't live on the forest floor. They have to live up in the trees.
These folk became the treetop dwellers, isolated from the outside world, living amongst the top of the trees. And it is from their records that we know about the history of this event, the whole entire Aetherian forest fire, and the creation of the
She's
rock
so
wall.
bitchy.
And these events had significant impact to all of Aether, especially to those who lived south in the Archine Mountains. At the top of the Archine Mountains was the home of the Air Alliance, a civilization of those connected to the air element. The winged citizens of the Alliance used to fly high above the trees of the great Aetherian forest, while meanwhile, the non-flying elders of the air dispensed wisdom and law from the Archean mountaintops, while society flourished in the valley below, under a
it has a
peaceful
ton of deep lore.
neutrality. However, when the Fire Imperium fought back against the forest, all of the winged citizens who witnessed all of the violence and murder began to question the peaceful policies of the mountain-dwelling elders. This formed a political rift between those who could fly and those who couldn't within the Air Alliance. And ultimately, the winged citizens split from the Air Alliance, forming a new, aggressive, militaristic faction known as the Air Armada. Having seen the violence and warfare around them, they feared if they didn't begin their own conquest of territory, they too would be run over by the Fire Imperium. As such, they began constructing massive airships and military bases, taking control of the southwest quadrant of the continent.
You did my girl
and
dirty!
Soon after, a formal declaration of war was put out against the Fire Imperium. Now, despite the Alliance being destroyed, many still stayed with the pacifists in the mountaintops. And one such citizen was the young girl, Absa, the Storm Architect. Absa was a young child when she saw the Air Alliance split in half. She was a math prodigy and skilled inventor, but as she got older, she became more and more aware of the vulnerability of her pacifist society. In an attempt to isolate themselves, she mastered and studied weather patterns, eventually being able to harness the power of lightning and manifesting a large permanent electrical storm surrounding the mountaintop. The elders were incredibly impressed with Absa's feat.
So, you know that map in, hold on, let me launch it actually so I can pull some of these up. You know that map in Rivals 2 that's like purple and like it's like a white pillar and it's purple and it's like there's a storm constantly? That's Absa. She's just, in addition to all the other stuff she does, she just has a storm constantly going. Hold on, I'm pulling it up to show you. This place right here, Tempest Peak, this is the way it is because Absa has a constant storm engulfing the mountains. That's what's out there. Also, fun fact, you can see the Rivals 1 maps, like the Rivals 1 versions of these maps from the Rivals 2 one. Do you see that door back there? That door that's back there? I can't really, the one that I'm like hovering in front of right now? That door back there, that is the Rivals 1 map of Tempest Peak. You fight on like a doorway into the Tempest. You can actually see this on most of the maps. Door Chad. If you go to Merchant Port, where is it? If you go to Merchant Port, do you see that area back there where there's a water wheel back here, right here where I am? That is the Rivals 1 Merchant Port map, because it had the big water wheel in the middle. Very cool. And if you go to this place, I think. Let me see. I'm pretty sure you can see it here. Yes, yes, they are. Trying to see where it is. You can see the Rivals 1 version of this map somewhere. Oh, there it is. There it is. It's that building, like straight that way, like where my arrow passes by. That one that looks like a big, like a big federal building way off to the left there. If you guys see what I'm shooting at, this one right here, like behind me, that is you fight on the steps of that one. That is the Rivals 1 version, which is pretty cool. I'll stay in training in case there's anything else I need to show. I don't know, because it kind of looks like it. Hold on. Here we go.
She doubted and considered themselves now impervious to the outside world. However, Absa actually doubted that the storm would deter invaders for long. And despite the laws forbidding any practice of violence, Absa knew she... So,
I will say, Absa made the storm all by herself. Technically, the rock wall isn't entirely crag, but it's mostly crag. There's a whole bunch of people who build the rock wall and maintain it and everything else. But Crag did most of it, although he didn't do literally all of it single-handedly. But he's like the one. Like if you ask somebody who built the rock wall in the Aether setting, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, Crag, duh."
To do something. She found and joined a hidden martial arts society deep in the caves of the Archai Mountains. There, she honed her martial arts skills with other skilled warriors and learned ways to use her storm technique for offensive capabilities. If the need ever arose, she was prepared to defend her home. So to end this chapter, let's check out our map. We now have our main 4 factions. The Flame Imperium to the east, a united empire of fire citizens who control the eastern Firelands. The city of Merchantport to the south, run primarily by a naval-based trade company known as the Water Trade Company, or WTC for short. The ever-aggressive Air Armada to the southwest, pushing their boundaries in retaliation against the Fire Imperium. And lastly in the northwest is the Forest Dwellers, living in isolation from the outside world. This about brings us up to the modern day. Now, it's a bit unclear how much time's taken place from the events of the Great Aetherian Forest Fire, but it's very clear a lot of things have changed. We are now ready to jump into the present day, the modern world of Aether. Now, things from here get a little messy. We're talking about the events of the story mode from Rivals 1, which doesn't have the best reputation. We're definitely stepping into some retcon territory, and some things aren't really going to make a lot of sense. But we did do our best to try and organize it into one coherent timeline. So, let's get right back into it. First, our story brings us to the Fire Capital, the largest city in the Flame Imperium. The current leader is Emperor Renburn, who has 2 children, his adopted eldest son, Forsburn, and his younger biological son, Zetterburn.
I always forget Forsburn's
As the Emperor
older
of the Flame Imperium, Renburn was a mighty and strong leader, and he wished for both of his sons to lead this nation into a bright future. As such, despite them still being young, he believed they should be sent off to train in the Eastern Mountains. There they could learn about their elemental power from a master of the elements, a wise sage named Hodon. However, Loxodon, head of ministry and trade and good friend of Renburn, insisted that Hodon was a foolish master and advised against sending them. And historically, Loxodon was the right hand of the Emperor. The Fire Imperium even had a saying, Renburn ruled, but Loxodon governed. However, despite his advice, Renburn was adamant they must send the young boys to Hodon's dojo deep in the mountains. So it was decided that Zetterburn and Forsburn would be sent off to train in the Eastern Mountains. Here they would train with other martial artists from all across Aether in the way of elementalism, where all elements come together peacefully.
Yeah, he is.
However, the two boys were sent specifically to better understand and harness their firepower. And although their primary goal was to learn combat skills for the battlefield, Hodon made sure to stress the importance of harmony between the elements, trying to seek a peaceful resolution before resorting to violence. Unfortunately, the two young boys didn't care much for that last part. And over the years, both Forsburn and Zetterburn would grow into quite accomplished members of the royal family. Forsburn grew up to become the chief diplomat of the Flame Imperium, and was actively working in the politics with his father. He was often relied upon to both broker treaties as well as quietly assassinate any threats to the kingdom. Zetterburn, on the other hand, grew up to become quite the accomplished military general. He had no interest in the larger politics of the world, and was focused mostly on his combat prowess. He became quite the experienced and hardened warrior, and fought in many wars for the Flame Imperium, and becoming a hero for the people of the Firelands. However, Zetterburn's unquestioning allegiance at times made him quite blind to the larger picture and the morality of his actions.
What the fuck, Zetterburn? You just killed a
Both
child!
sons were worthy heirs to the throne, to be the next emperor after Renburn. However, after years of unquestioning service on the Fire Council, Forsburn began to question the motives of some of his colleagues, sensing corruption beneath the surface. But before he could uncover the treacherous nature of this plot, tragedy would strike. After returning home from a diplomatic mission, Forsburn found his adoptive father, Renburn, slain. And worst of all, the dagger protruding from his heart was none other than his own. Forsburn had been framed as the murderer of his father. Immediately, Forsburn ran into hiding, going deep beneath the capital, hiding in the aqueducts below. Meanwhile, Zetterburn returned to the capital after successfully defeating Air Armada fleets in the region that had been plundering their trade routes. But after his successful battle, he was surprised to see the whole nation was in fact mourning. And soon after, he was informed of the passing of his father. But more importantly, the Fire Council let him know that it was most likely Forsburn.
Like, not only was he framed for murder, and not only was it his own dad, which is really sad and sucks, but he just kind of inherently looks like a guy who would backstab and murder you in the first place. Like, he's inherently already got that look, that shady ass look about him. So it's like, you know, nobody's gonna believe you.
Would committed the
and it gets worse after he joins the Smoke
who'd be
Clan.
crowned as the new emperor in Renburn's place, as the Fire Council reassured Zetterburn that it was his father's wish. Zetterburn reluctantly accepted the council's will and pledged his loyalty to the soon-to-be emperor Loxodont. Forsburn, on the other hand, was certain that he was framed as the murderer so Loxodont could seize the throne in his place. He immediately sought his brother to explain the dire circumstances, and that night, he snuck into Zetterburn.
I mean, it's also worth noting he framed Forsburn specifically because he knew Zetterburn was too loyal and would like ultimately buy whatever he said. But he knew that that Zetterburn was too loyal, but Forsburn was too smart. Like, Forsburn was already beginning to question stuff, and he would have absolutely figured out what he was doing. So he had him framed to get him out of the picture and to turn his incredibly strong brother against him.
Chambers to approach his brother about the conspiracy, believing it was the Fire Council's plot to kill their father. However, it was too late. Zetterburn was convinced of Forsburn's treason. He believed he was guilty without a second thought. In a blind rage, Zetterburn attacked his brother, and after a brief scuffle, betrayed and injured, Forsburn barely managed to escape the scene, and Zetterburn was left devastated, having just lost his father and believing his brother to be a traitorous exile. Forsburn was forced to go on the run, and for days he roamed aimlessly around the outskirts of the Fire
93 is giving away a
That was until one day, he awoke to find himself surrounded by murky strangers. They revealed themselves to be members of the Smoke Clan.
Oh yeah. Also, because of the attempt, you can see here, after the attempt to apologize to explain things to his brother, you can see here, hold on.
The soon-to-be emperor, he snuck into Zetterburn's chambers to approach his brother about the conspiracy, believing it was the Fire Council's plot to kill their father. However,
you can see here he doesn't have any scars, and like he looks sad.
It was too late.
Wants his brother to believe him, right?
Of Forsburn's treason. He believed he was guilty without a second thought. In a blind rage, Zetterburn attacked his brother, and after a brief scuffle, betrayed and injured, Forsburn barely managed to escape the scene, and Zetterburn was left devastated, having just lost his father and believing his brother to be a traitorous exile. Forsburn was forced to go on the run, and for days he roamed aimlessly around the outskirts of the Fire Imperium. That was until...
And you can see here, he's got a really big fucking scar. This is part of the reason that he wears a skull, is to hide this scar. I don't think he's blind in that eye, but it's like a really, really, really bad scar.
One day, he awoke to find himself surrounded by murky strangers. They revealed themselves to be members of the Smoke Clan, a group of exiles from the Fire Imperium. They captured the ex-prince and brought him to their settlement, hidden in the north of the Firelands.
He is very Zuko-coded,
It was here,
yeah.
the leader of the Smoke Clan, Clayan, introduced herself.
Oh, Clayan, that's what it is.
Who, might I add, got a super big glow up in the comics. Way to go, Clayan.
Hey, Chad, who does that look like, I wonder? Hey, Clayan, who do you look like, I wonder? I don't know, just getting some vibes. Clayan might be somebody, might be important to somebody.
Forsburn revealed himself to be the ex-prince of the Fire Imperium, and explained the story of his father's passing. Clayan was impressed by Forsburn's ability, and sympathized with his plight.
No, it's not Zetterburn transitioned.
He offered him an opportunity at a new life.
That's fucking,
he was willing to devote
Clarion's great-grandma.
Forsburn, with not much left to his name, he accepted his new identity and renounced the Flame Imperium. Meanwhile, over in the Aetherian Forest, our story brings us to the young treetop dweller known as Maple, the Sylvan Watcher. As the self-appointed protector of the forest, she roams the
Hey chat, I have a question. Why is Maple giving me eyes here? It's not just me, right? She's given me a kind of look, right? It's not just me, right? She's DTF, right? It's not just, that's a look and a half. Like she's DTF, right? I'm just saying,
Lily.
Would.
Recently, Maple has felt a disturbance deep beneath the roots, a sickness brewing beneath all of Aether. While patrolling the forest, looking for the source of this ominous feeling, she discovered strange purple, root-like tentacles that were corrupting the nearby plant life. It was just as Maple had feared. Something ominous was infecting the forest. She followed the tentacles through the forest to the outer edges, and to her surprise, they went beyond the rock wall. To save her forest from this eldritch, shadowy curse, she believed she must traverse the rock wall and head east. Before leaving, she gave Lily to her younger sister Mayreed, and also handed her a letter to explain her discoveries of the purple rot to the other forest dwellers.
Look at the sad Lily! Look at the sad Lily down here! She doesn't want to be left behind! Look at her!
Mayreed begged Maple not to leave, as they both sensed the evil is far greater than any danger seen before. But Maple, not deterred in the slightest, headed out into the wasteland beyond the wall. And for months, she traversed the wastelands, growing weaker and weaker each day away from her home. And back at the Fire Capital, the day of Emperor Loxodon's coronation had come. The citizens of the Flame Imperium bestowed Loxodon with a sacred torch, the symbol of the Imperium. This torch granted the right of fire, the source of the people's connection to the element. And if it were ever to be extinguished, the citizens of the Fire Imperium would slowly lose their elemental connection entirely. And, as if on cue, suddenly a shadowy water creature leaped from the crowd and grabbed the sacred flame.
What the hell?
From the
Chad
crowd,
Orcane?
Zetterburn recognized the culprit as the elusive water trickster, Orcane.
Seriously, obviously this is not Orcane, just from looking at it. But why is it got like weird like Chad eyes? It's got like a Chad eyebrow and like a not a jawline, I guess, but like... why does it look like this?
But
no, I'm not trying to steal your joke, I'm just saying.
And disappeared with the torch in hand. The Fire Council erupted in chaos, and Loxodon demanded Zetterburn hunt down and retrieve the stolen torch.
Yeah.
Ever loyal to the Flame Imperium, Zetterburn began his march to the city of Merchant Port, the home of Orcane. And it wasn't long until Forsburn heard word of his brother's departure from the capital. Despite his loyalty to the Smoke Clan, Forsburn decided to use this opportunity to find and confront his brother. Forsburn emerged from a smoke portal in the Fire Capital. But what he saw before him was nothing but a distorted, shadowy imposter of his younger brother. Confused and outraged, Forsburn engaged the imposter, and using his newfound powers of smoke, easily defeated the eldritch being. However, to Forsburn's surprise, on the northern horizon, he notices a blaze in the distance. While he was fighting the shadowy monster...
No. Oh, wait, do you mean Forsburn? No, her uncle sucks. Forsburn is her grandpa. Forsburn's good. He went back and killed Shadow Zetterburn, but Zetterburn, her uncle, fucking sucks.
The Smoke Clan hideout was set ablaze. Immediately, Forsburn raced back home, never finding his brother or confronting the false emperor. Meanwhile, a few months into her journey,
okay. I
Maple
figured that's what
stumbled
you
across
meant.
a large fire burning down a settlement.
Forsburn is good.
And to her
Zenburn's
shock,
a dickhead.
she witnessed the Flame Imperium launching an assault on the Smoke Clan settlement. But before she could act, suddenly a portal of smoke emerged, and Forsburn materialized on the scene.
Can I just say, by the way, this face that Forsburn is making is fucking terrifying. This is like a feral animal that's going to like rip your throat out. Genuinely really scary. Fucking, this is a scary ass beast.
Blinded by rage, Forsburn mistakenly identified Maple as one of the assailants. And as Maple witnessed Forsburn's smoke sorcery, she presumed him to be a culprit of the mysterious shadow in the forest. After a brief scuffle, Maple demanded to know Forsburn's motive behind the shadowy sickness in the forest.
Put him down,
Taken aback,
Sam.
Forsburn explained his own encounter with a similar shadow,
Don't put him
and
down.
the two realized they were no enemies after all. Maple recognized that Forsburn could be a potential ally against the evil lurking beneath Aether, and determined to find the source, the two headed out southwest to the Godai Delta. Now, you might be wondering, what about the Smoke Clan? Isn't it on fire and aren't they being attacked? Well, it never really gets addressed, but I mean, surely they probably stopped the Fire Imperium before they left. Or maybe they didn't. It's up to your interpretation. Anyways, while the two head towards the source of the evil, our story returns to the Aetherian Forest. This time, the legendary wall runner, Crag, is patrolling the rock wall. Crag stumbles upon...
Okay, before he gets to it, I just want to say, remember that all Crag is trying to do is just patrol the wall and repair any holes, okay? Just remember that Crag is just trying to essentially do his blue-collar job, because when you remember that fact, Crag's entire story in Rivals of Aether 1 is so funny.
The unthinkable, a breach in the northern wall, which based on the map is oddly definitely not on the north side of the wall. A breach in the rock wall of this size would have devastating consequences on all of Aether, so swiftly, Crag begins his repairs on the damage. But out of nowhere, a rock is hurled right at Crag from inside the forest. His rock-bound mind can barely comprehend what he sees. A purple treetop dweller is launching an assault from inside the forest on the rock wall. Crag immediately engages in combat, and the commotion of their battle attracts nearby treetop dwellers to the scene. And after Crag quickly disposes of the ominous purple maple, Mayreed approaches the
He's so upset.
legendary wall runner with a letter. The letter explains Maple's findings on the purple rot, and her reason for leaving the forest, possibly the same explanation behind the breach in the rock wall. Mayreed begs Crag to take Lily and follow Maple's path to help her against the darkness, and Crag agrees to the mission. But before he heads out, he returns to the rock wall to once again repair the damage. When suddenly, again, his peaceful wall building is interrupted. This time, two Air Armada scouts were surveying the area surrounding the rock wall. The first was Raster,
He just keeps getting accosted.
Raster was a
He's just
cocky
trying
and
to do his
arrogant,
job.
although extremely talented Air Armada soldier. He's known for his fierce and unpredictable fighting style across all of Aether, and was the youngest ever trainee in the history of the Air Academy. The second scout was his partner, Bradshaw, who honestly we don't know too much about. What we know is that Bradshaw is more cautious and reliable and a steady support for Raster's unpredictable nature.
Fuck you, Raster.
And while on patrol, both Raster and Bradshaw noticed this hole in the rock wall and dove down to investigate. And Crag, having just fought the mysterious abyss creature, was on high alert. Seeing two Air Armada soldiers diving towards him, he interpreted it as an attack from the Air Armada. So Crag absolutely folds Bradshaw like an omelet,
dumpster,
knocking
dude.
him out of the fight immediately, leaving it to a 1 versus 1 between Raster and Crag. And Raster, after witnessing his best friend out of nowhere get destroyed, jumped into the fray, prepared to fight off Crag. And despite what you might think, he actually successfully fended off Crag on his own, and while Crag is recovering, Raster quickly swoops up Bradshaw and retreats to safety. Crag, on the other hand, gets back up and quickly repairs the rock wall.
For the
then
third
he heads
time.
out east in hopes of finding
For the
Maple
third
and putting a
time,
stop
he
to
tries
the
to
chaos.
repair the rock wall,
Meanwhile,
and it finally gets a
again,
chance.
Our story brings us to the city of Merchantport, the port town run by the Water Trade Company. In a meeting room, the board members of the company are furious over their recent trade routes being plundered by Air Armada ships. Don Whitefish, the chairman of the company, proposes a plan to infiltrate and take back their stolen goods. But for the plan to succeed, they would need the help of the most notorious trickster in all of Aether. Of course, I'm talking about Orcane, the Puddle Jumper. Due to his unique ability to teleport to any body of water, he's become a very useful asset to the people of the town. The chairman headed to the local fisherman Nesbit, as he knew Orcane had a fondness for the fisherman and his granddaughter Melby. Nesbit and the chairman manage to bargain a deal where Orcane will help the Water Trade Company. Melby is the only one who can communicate with Orcane, and after she explains the mission to Orcane, he agrees to help. He teleports to an unguarded sink on the Armada, which implies that some sinks are guarded, I guess, and Orcane begins to look for the missing goods stolen by the Armada. While sneaking around, Orcane stumbles across a peculiar scene.
Yeah, so he doesn't really go into it here, but Orcane is supposed to be at the Polakai Islands as one of the 3 tiers, but Orcane just really loves the merchant people. Like, he just loves the people of Merchant Port. So he basically just lives there. Like, he just lives there and is kind of like the town's mascot, kind of. Like, he just walks around and like helps people and does shit, and he's like a big puppy. Like, people pet him and give him food and stuff, and you know, he is like completely sentient. Although he doesn't talk, but like he's a demigod. He is completely and utterly sentient, but like he just really likes Merchant Port, so he refuses to leave and just like hides there from the Polakai Islands and is just the little demigod mascot of Merchant Port.
He spots the leader of the Armada, Commander Swiftwing, making a trade deal with a shadowy creature. The commander is offering all of the water trade goods, worth millions, in exchange for a singular scroll. The scroll appears to indicate the weak spots in the defense of all major nations across Aether. Now, I bet you're wondering, why does the Abyss want the money, and how did they obtain such a scroll? Well, we don't know, and sadly it never really gets explained. Maybe in Rivals 2. Anyways, while no one is looking, Orcane steals the stolen goods and begins his retreat. And on his way out, he encounters the wounded Bradshaw and Raster returning to the ship. Raster is shocked to see a water creature all the way up in their flying armada, and immediately he challenges Orcane to close quarter combat. Meanwhile, and actually the last meanwhile, Zetterburn reaches Merchant Port, looking to retrieve the stolen torch, which he believes was taken by Orcane. In a rage, he begins to light the entire city ablaze, destroying the Puddle Jumper's home. On the docks of the city, Zetterburn encounters the shadowy Orcane, guarding the ceremonial torch. Zetterburn absolutely destroys the creature, and as it dissipates into purple smoke, he realizes his mistake, as obviously it wasn't Orcane. Full of doubt, he grabs the torch, probably, again it's not very clear, but it'd be kind of weird to just leave it on the ground, and he notices more purple, shadowy smoke on the horizon. Trying to find the source of this madness, he heads towards the smoke. As for Orcane, he's quick to make light work of Raster, and with the stolen goods in tow, he returns to Merchant Port. However, the city is ablaze. He immediately evacuates Nesbit and Melby to safety, and they inform Orcane that it was a mad general of the Flame Imperium who was responsible for the fire. Orcane sniffs out the trail of Zetterburn, and begins his own trek to get justice for his hometown. As for Raster, he's still pretty mad about what Crag did to Bradshaw, and heads out to seek revenge against Crag. And like that, everyone's stories begin to converge in the middle of Aether, in a location known as the Godai Delta. And it's here that the 6 elemental heroes met on a cliffside near the center of the Delta. And despite their rivalries, after each and every one of them explained their side of the story, they put aside their differences for the time being. When suddenly, a large stone pillar arose from the sea, and shadowy tentacles emerged from the waters. The ancient stone platform appears to be a gateway in which the abyss from beneath Aether is leaking up to the surface. And guarding this gateway was 2 mysterious abyss monsters. So of course the heroes engage the monstrosity of the abyss. Using their elemental powers combined, they vanquish the shadowy imposters conjured by the monsters. Even Forsburn and Zetterburn work together to attack the abyss. And ultimately, they even defeated the gatekeepers themselves. After defeating the horrors from below, the United Warriors, the new champions of Aether, recover from the battle atop the platform. The 2 Flame Imperium princes mend their burnt bridge, but their reunion would be short-lived, when suddenly the gateway platform plummeted deep beneath the earth into the darkness of the abyss. In the abyss, the champions fight an endless battle against the shadows, trapped beneath the earth for all eternity.
So that is specifically, that's how Rivals 1 ends. Because after you beat the story, you get access to Abyss mode. Abyss mode is like an infinite roguelike kind of mode where you keep, where like the Godai Delta like keeps going down further, and sometimes you'll have to fight like Abyss fighters with like special properties. Sometimes you'll have to do like little stuff, and between each like every few rounds, you get like a little roguelike like item that will like change you in some way. And if you survive 10 rounds, you get a special skin. You get the Abyss skins, which are much less cool in Rivals 1. They're basically just like purple versions of the characters. They're the ones from the story. But The Rivals 2 versions, if you haven't seen them, are fucking amazing. Like here is the Abyss, here's the Abyss fleet, for example. Here, let me show you the Abyss, Loxodon, or not Loxodon, Zetterburn. Fucking sick. Like, it's just totally taken over his face and turned it into a big eye. The Abyss Loxodon is also fucking sick. Look at him. He's so fucking sick. The Abyss skins in this are really cool, and they're definitely going to be gettable at some point. We just don't know when. The Maypole one's kind of cool. I like that it turns her tail into a big mace and gives her like crystals and like a single eye and stuff. Kind of cool. I don't remember if the Rano one's cool. Yeah, the Rano one's okay. It's a big eye in the center, and these become just like hollow and eyes in the palms. Kind of cool. The Arcane one is really, really, really good. Arcane one's probably my fave, honestly. That's just an Eldritch Crimcher. The Clarion one is also probably my fave, like my second fave. This one's sick. She doesn't have her eyes anymore. She just has this like headpiece made of bone with an eye here, and then her fucking sword is made out of her sword is made out of like bones and eyes and stuff. It's sick. Her cape becomes these two giant like hands. It's pretty good. Remember what oh yeah, Raster's is pretty cool. Raster's turns his wings into giant like fucked up hands with like you can see like the flesh between the fingers and stuff. Raster's is pretty sick, actually. What does Krags look like? Krags is okay. I like that Krags is he loses his eyes again and gets them here. They just go hollow here. His rock and his pillar also get eyes all over them, which is pretty cool. Showed that one, showed that one, showed that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. I just haven't shown Force Burns, that's it. Force Burns is alright. I think it's a little weak, but I like the eye and the pommel of the thing, and the eye like holding the cape together. I also like that he gets goat hooves. Very cool. Anyway.
And this is, canonically, where the story of Rivals 1 ends, with all of our heroes being trapped beneath the earth.
Yeah.
And it seems like the Rivals 2 story will pick up from right here, as the heroes are attempting to escape the abyss and make it back to the surface. But since this video is coming out before the Rivals 2 story mode releases, your guess is as good as mine. Now, while this is the end of the Rivals 1 story, there is still a lot of lore left. And the stories of both Dungeons of Aether and Pales of Aether have major impact on the storyline of the Champions of Aether. But before we jump into the story of Dungeons of Aether, there are 3 characters in the world of Aether who don't really fit into the overarching narrative, but are definitely worth mentioning, as their stories do have impact on the overall world building.
Chat, can you tell who these 3 are? Who's that Rivals character? Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na-na. Dun 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 dun. Eve got it. It's Dan, Matt, and Johnny. Froggy, Snick, and what? Who's the last one? I'll tell you this, you have the first 2 right. This is Eliana, this is Rano. Do you know who this one is? 3 is Metagross? Nope.
So let's jump into a really quick mini chapter to cover some of these side stories.
It is the polar bear, yes, it's Edelus.
The first of our side stories is Rano, the poisonous pacifist. Honestly, there isn't much we know about Rano, as his lore is some of the least developed on the roster. That being said though, he is shaping up to probably be an important character in Rivals 2.
He's got the most
although
fucking
it's unclear
skins.
exactly what his goals are or his role in the story will be. What we do know is that according to Dan in an old presentation during Rano's reveal, Rano is a pacifist who trained in martial arts with martial arts masters from the Arkai Mountains, just like Absa. Afterwards, he returned to his home in the swampy estuary, a marsh east of Merchant Port. It's here that he currently resides and trains under Master Kai, a skilled martial arts master and expert of poison. And Rano is learning that same poison technique, and uses it to cleanse the swamp water and purify it. And that's about it for Rano. It definitely seems likely that Rano will eventually travel to the Ho Dojo and begin his training in elementalism, especially given his pacifist nature, but this is just merely speculation. We really don't know what Rano's gonna do, but definitely be on the lookout for Rano in Rivals 2. Next is the story of Eliana, the Aerial Arsenal. Eliana was a snake, living in the burrows of the wasteland east of the Arkai Mountains. Living under the territory of the Air Armada, Eliana dreamed of soaring the skies above, and when an opportunity to join the Air Armada came her way, she knew she needed to prove herself. So she headed to the nearby recruitment center, and as you'd expect, they were baffled to see a snake applying.
I just realized there's a little Zilk here. Wait, hold on. Hey, hold on.
She knew she needed to prove herself. So she headed to the nearby recruitment.
Look, there's a little bat here. Little bat guy. Hey, what the fuck were you doing there? Why didn't you speak up for Eliana, huh? Why didn't you tell people that she could join? Little shit.
Center, and as you'd expect, they were baffled to see a snake applying, as obviously snakes can't fly. But after proving she was knowledgeable on the written test, all she had to do was pass the practical test of flying across a large gap. And she failed, pretty hilariously. And although she failed to prove that she can fly, she wasn't defeated. Eliana was determined to prove she was born to fly. Eliana kept returning to the recruitment center with new machines. And again, she wasn't able to do it. Until she did! Eliana proved them all wrong, and that she was actually capable of flight with just a little bit of brain power and some mechanical help. However, the Armada she glorified so much that she wanted to join resented Eliana. They saw a snake trying to fly as a mockery of flight, and Commander Swiftwing grabbed Eliana and threw her back to the burrows. Finally defeated, with her dreams crushed, she was a little upset. However, she was stubborn and knew she could fly with the best of them, but to do so, she needed help. So she traveled to the nearby steampunk city of Julesvale, located in Jules Valley near the base of the Arkai mountain range. Julesvale was a city full of merchants, travelers, and most importantly,
because it's like a weird, like,
and while stumbling around the city,
like a modern city, and it's just the only one like that in all of Aether.
Ayala specialized
Other places are like Greco-Roman shit, like the Fire Imperium. Julesvale is just like a modern city for some reason from like the 1920s.
Ayala actually agreed
it's just the only place like that.
And the two worked together to craft a state-of-the-art flying mech that Eliana could operate. Once they finished up, before doing the final touches to stop it from overheating, Ayala headed to get some sleep. But in the meantime, Eliana made some additions. Finally, she revealed her intentions. She was not simply trying to soar the skies, but she wanted to take revenge and destroy the Air Armada. With her flying death machine, Eliana became a deadly scourge of the skies, with her one goal being to destroy the Air Armada, which honestly is pretty impressive considering her humble beginnings. And really, this is pretty much it for Eliana's story. She's sort of a villain or anti-hero depending on how you see it.
Fun fact, by the way, if you get 250 kills with a bunch of different people in Rivals 1, you get a unique skin for them. And for, like, Raster, for example, you get the bird Bradshaw, his friend, you get him as a skin. But for Eliana, if you get 250 kills, you get Ayala, the bunny, as the person in the suit instead of her. Like, Ayala is in the mech suit and, like, killing stuff. It's great.
And really, the most important thing about her story is Julesvale and the introduction of the city, which is probably one of the most important cities in the Aether universe. Lastly, and perhaps the most mysterious of them all, is Aetherless, the Glacier's Might. Aetherless is perhaps one of the most interesting characters in the Aether universe, because, well, he doesn't actually live on Aether. Aetherless comes from a northern continent called the Ice Barrens. Oddly though, we actually don't fully know where the Ice Barrens are. We just know it's called the Northern Continent. And given the fact that Aetherless's people are called the Hyperboreans, which in the real world is a reference to a continent that is north of the real known world, you might think that it would be completely north and separated by ocean from Aether. However, this isn't fully true. According to Hodon's bio, his mountains actually border the Ice Barrens, and given the look of the map, one might argue that the Ice Barrens are actually this area off to the northeast of Aether. And perhaps much like Europe and Asia in the real world, they're just considered different continents due to their geographical differences. Especially considering there's a very large mountain range separating the two. But really, we don't know. So hey, Dan, if you're watching this, let us know in the comments, where is the Ice Barrens? So although we don't know where the Ice Barrens really are, we do know a lot about it. Aetherless is one of the Hyperboreans, the people that survive the harsh conditions of the Ice Barrens. and specifically, he's a member of the elite battalion known as the Harbor Guard, which in history have defended the Hyperboreans from other elemental factions trying to invade the Ice Barrens. However,
I am not looking forward for when he
Ether,
gets added to the game.
Contact with the Harbor Guard and the Hyperboreans has all but disappeared, and the people of Aether are simply left to believe that the Hyperboreans were maybe forced to retreat inland, as the Harbor Guard were maybe defeated by an elemental faction. The reality is Aether and the Harbor Guard actually left their posts at the coast to go further inland to find and battle a deadly threat known as the Black Ice. The Black Ice...
Aether just plays like an asshole. Hold on. Like, he's just the exact type of character I hate to play against. Let me see if I can find the part in the trailer where they show how he plays. There we go. That right there is the thing I'm the most worried about. Is Aether's up air is a command grab where he hold on, let me rewind this. He grabs you and fucking yeets you down really hard, really fast. His whole thing is that he can like make this ice on the ground that is inherently slippery, and then he can absorb that ice to give himself armor, and then all of his smash attacks turn his arms into like ice weapons, like a big hammer or axes on either side, shit like that. So he's just a really heavy, like he's just a heavy fighter with a lot of like command, or not a lot, but with a command grab, like fuck you, it's my stage now mechanic, a lot of survivability, and very hard to approach because of how strong his smash attacks are. He's not actually that good. He's probably like a pretty bottom tier character, all things considered. I just fucking hate fighting against him. That command grab is so mean. Oh, is this where they did the... Oh yeah, I forgot that this wasn't in the game at launch. Anyway.
Has been tormenting the Hyperboreans, and these creatures of ice and shadow descended upon their homes and began to slaughter the Hyperboreans. But sadly, the Harbor Guard was too late. Many Hyperboreans were already defeated, and many great warriors of the Harbor Guard also fell in battle. And Aether was one of the few warriors that survived the encounter with the Black Ice. And now alone, he wanders the northern reaches of the Ice Barrens, looking to hunt and destroy the source of the Black Ice. Meanwhile, the remaining Hyperboreans that survived the massacre scattered across the tundras looking for a new place to call home. And that is Aether's story. It's kind of confusing, a little bit random, but definitely intriguing. And that about covers it for our main 3 side stories. As you've seen, they're not completely connected to the main overarching story, but definitely have implications on the world building of Aether. And with that out of the way, I think we're now ready to jump into the story of Dungeons of Aether. And it's important to know that all of the events in Dungeons of Aether actually take place at the same time as the events of Rivals 1. So let's jump right into it. Our story brings us back to the bustling city of Julesvale, which recently has had a gold rush in the nearby mines. The caverns deep below Julesvale are filled with precious relics and valuable minerals, but this particular mining craze has been sparked by the recent discovery of a brand new ore called Obsidian. Obsidian has the miraculous properties of being able to rejuvenate and empower those who wield it, and as such the price has skyrocketed in the market. Foreigners from all across Aether have
this
flocked
probably
to
has Dungeons of
Julesvale,
Aether spoilers, by the way,
looking
but
for their chance to grab some Obsidian. And the most nefarious...
By the way, in Dungeons of Aether, you can play as 4 characters. You play as Fleet, then you play as Slade, then you play as 2 others who I don't remember the name of. I don't think they're all going to be added to Rivals 2, but I will say, and you'll see why when we see him, I think Slade is going to be added to Rivals 2. I think he is going to be a confirmed character eventually. And I'll explain why when we see him.
Player in this race for the Obsidian is none other than Badger Co. The corporation has the largest stake in the mining game, and is doing its best to muscle out all the competition and capitalize off this new craze by any means necessary, including putting the safety of the people at risk. Badger Co. runs the city of Julesvale, and their monopoly is nearly unstoppable. But there is one hero who emerged with the goal of thwarting their evil. Her name is Fleet, the Archer of Justice. Fleet is the self-proclaimed protector of Julesvale, and in Robin Hood style, steals from the corrupt and gives to the exploited, and her current target is Badger Co. While looking for leads, she mistakenly encountered and identified Ayala as a member of Badger Co. But after interrogating Ayala, she realized that she no longer works at the company. Originally, Ayala was tasked to make an automated mining machine for Badger Co. But Badger Co. didn't care much for the safety measures that Ayala...
Also, yeah, this is the same Ayala that helped Eliana build her flying machine. This is the same one. She's like your friend in Dungeons of Aether. It's great.
Put in place, and after she protested about the potential of hazards and dangers, she was fired. And after hearing the story, Fleet realized that they both have the same goal, to take down Badger Co. So reluctantly, Ayala decides to help out Fleet. Ayala has Fleet go into the mines below and retrieve some of her stolen blueprints, to see what Badger Co. is plotting. And when Fleet recovers the plans, to Ayala's disappointment, her fears have come true. Badger Co. is creating the Mega Digger, a ginormous automated mining machine capable of undermining the entire city of Julesvale. And Foreman Kohler plans to run a test run of the drill deeper in the caverns. So Ayala asks Fleet to put a stop to the test run, or the entire city of Julesvale could collapse. So Fleet rushes to the scene, fighting through Badger Co. lackeys and no good bandits along the way, eventually stumbling upon Foreman Kohler himself. The foreman of course has no plans to stop their excavation, and while he can't bury the truth, he certainly can bury bodies, and threatens to take out Fleet if she won't back down. But Fleet's not deterred, and with her trusty bow, empowered by wind gems that give her elemental might, she swiftly defeats the foreman and puts the drill out of commission. And for the time being, both Ayala and Fleet have successfully thwarted or at least put a dent in Badger Co.'s plans. But of course, the company won't disappear overnight, and they have a lot of work to do to loosen their grip over Julesvale. And in the meantime, Fleet begins to wander the streets of the city, when she's approached by the local generous philanthropist, Randall. Wait, that sounds familiar. Randall was known for having a massive hoard of obsidian. However, he also liked to give it away to people in need, and was a hero within the community. Although, Randall tells Fleet that recently he sensed a darkness growing in Julesvale, and is in dire need of Fleet's aid. He tells Fleet that he had enlisted 3 foreigners who came to town in order to help him stop the looming darkness, but all 3 of them had betrayed him. All 3 of them went into the depths of the caverns below and stole ancient relics of Julesvale for their own greed. Randall believes that the 3 might actually be working in cahoots with Badger Co., and tasks Fleet to find the thieves and put a stop to their antics, as well as take back the relics. The first of these thieves was the pirate Slade. Slade came to Julesvale from far away,
one I think will
coming
get
from
added.
an island chain in the ocean south of Aether, called the Polkai Islands. The people of these volcanic islands live in these small communities, living off the land and harvesting the waves. However, the islands are also known for having a plethora of pirates, and some of these pirate sightings have even been seen as far up north as Merchantport. And Slade happens to be one such pirate, having come all the way up to Aether. However,
just look at him. Like, especially compare him to the other 2 when we see him, or when we see Artemis and the other one. He's so, like, over-designed. Do you get what I mean? Like, he's got the open coat, he's got the shark tooth necklace, he's got the like earring on his back, he's got the like agility based fighting style, both represented in game through mechanics, but also even just like his pose. He just looks like a character that's going to get added. Yeah, he's got main character design. The other 2 kind of just look like generic mooks, but Slade looks like a character that's going to be added. I would be genuinely shocked if he didn't get added.
He reassures the people of Aether that he comes with a good cause. He told one local reporter about the legend of the 3 tiers, divine visitors that came to the Polkai Islands and shaped their culture for generations. However, recently, one of the 3 spirits, simply called Joy, stopped appearing and threw off the balance of the region. In order to save the Polkai Islands, Slade is now on the hunt to find and bring back Joy to his home. And despite this good-natured story, some still believe that Slade is just a pirate looking for more treasures. And in fact, that was sort of the case. Slade approached Randall as he had heard about his stash of obsidian, and Randall agreed to make an offer for some of the obsidian. If Slade went down to the depths of the mines and retrieved a relic known as the Drop of Nourishment from an oasis deep in the caves, then Randall was willing to give as much obsidian as Slade needed. He began his journey to the underground oasis, a beautiful water-filled portion of the caverns, And after doing some investigating and defeating some shadowy obsessed miners, he actually managed to find the drop of nourishment. With the relic in hand, he returned back to the surface. He mentions that his goal was only to find Obsidian to lure Orcane back to the Polkai Islands. Wait a second, Orcane? Alright, this line, as well as a few other lines later in the story, have major implications on the Aether universe. But warning, we are sort of stepping into speculation
This is just
territory,
confirmed now.
so although it's not completely confirmed, it's definitely heavily implied. So, based on this line, it seems that Orcane also originates from the Polkai Islands, which makes a lot of sense since we know Orcane doesn't originate from Merchant Port, but rather arrived one day. But the most interesting thing here is that it implies that Slade is trying to lure Orcane back to the Polkai Islands because Orcane is the spirit of joy, one of the gods of the Polkai Island. So is Orcane actually a water deity? It would explain why he's more creature-like than person-like, and also why his abilities are so OP. I mean, he can literally teleport to any body of water. And do I have to point out the giant Orcane statue in Merchant Port? Now, there could be another reason for this giant statue. Maybe it's not Orcane, but the similarity is right there. And although it's not confirmed, it definitely seems like Slade just said that Orcane is in fact a god. Slade is amazed by the amount of riches in the Julesvale mines, and instead of giving up the drop of nourishment to Randall, he decides to look for Obsidian himself deeper in the mines. The next foreigner who betrayed Randall was the ex-wall-runner Hamir. Hamir comes from a small settlement hidden somewhere deep in the Archive Mountains called the Crystal Oasis. Little is truly known about those who settled at the Crystal Oasis, but what is known is that the founders were exiled from the Aetherian forest when the rock wall was formed, and it's the descendants of these founders, such as Hamir.
Like, this character just doesn't have the same sort of like main character energy, you know what I mean? Like, maybe it's just me, but I just don't think they look like, I don't think, like, they don't look like a character that would be added to Rivals 2. They just kind of look, yeah, mini boss energy, exactly. Like, not badly designed, but mini boss energy.
But at some point, Hamir decided to leave the Crystal Oasis to join the Wall Runners to the north, where he found the love of his life, his partner, Madoc. Now, we don't know the full details, but when the rock wall was breached by the Black Roots, the same eldritch monster that Crag went in search of, while trying to maintain the wall from the Roots, Madoc was killed in the line of duty. Hamir was devastated, and after his partner passed away, he left the Wall Runners to go into exile. An extremely rare occurrence, as Wall Runners typically devoted their entire life to the wall. And after wandering in shame, Hamir came to Julesvale looking for a new direction in life. But to his surprise, he would only be met with a grim reminder of his past. He saw the familiar face of Olympia.
Hi, Olympia.
Olympia was the
Olympia is one of the Workshop 4, by the way. Another character that got added from the Workshop. She is not a character created by the original Rivals team. She is a character created by the community who just officially got put into the game and then showed up later in Dungeons of Aether, which I really love. I love that these characters, not only are they already confirmed to be coming back to Rivals 2, but I love that the Workshop 4 are like, I love that they're like being integrated into the lore.
Amethyst Fist, the champion of the Crystal Oasis and a martial arts legend. Whatever Hamir's reason was for joining the Wall Runners, Olympia only saw it as abandoning their homeland. And although she didn't know about Madoc's passing, she held a strong grudge against Hamir. As for why Olympia was in Julesvale, a while back Olympia began to find disturbances in the crystals of her homeland. There were impurities in the gems from a sickness deep beneath the earth. So underground, she followed the source all the way to Julesvale, and she began conducting research to find and destroy the root of the evil. The encounter between Hamir and Olympia led to a lot of commotion, when suddenly it brought the attention of Randall. And while Olympia stormed off, Randall comforted Hamir temporarily. He offered Hamir an opportunity for a new direction in life, tasking him to find the mythical Shield of Courage, a relic deep in the caverns below. And well, Hamir decided, why not, and headed down to the mines. And after encountering some mysterious, shadowy Badger Co lackeys, he actually managed to find the legendary relic. With the Shield of Courage, Hamir felt like his unbreakable self again. Full of confidence, he returned to the surface to speak to Randall. And to his surprise, Randall told Hamir of another relic much like the Shield of Courage, called the Breath of Life. And Randall believed that that relic could be used to resurrect his lover. However, Randall had heard that the nefarious Olympia had stolen that relic deep in the lava tubes below, and Randall tells Hamir to take out Olympia by any means necessary. And with some cloudy judgment and the Shield of Courage, Hamir actually agrees to find Olympia and confront her. Meanwhile, we have our third quote-unquote thief that betrayed Randall.
Again, just not main character designed energy. Again, mini boss energy still. This is the other playable character, Artemis, and she's cool. she's a little cooler than Randall, or than the other one, the one that we were just talking about. But like, she's still not like main character design IMO. But like, you know,
being
Slade
Artemis.
looks main character.
Artemis is a Fire Mora captain, a squadron of elite soldiers who work directly under Prince Zetterburn on the field of battle. And after the Rite of Fire was mysteriously stolen and Prince Zetterburn was sent to retrieve it, the new Emperor Loxodon sent out Artemis to find and retrieve a new powerful relic to legitimize his right to the throne. On her mission, she headed to Julesvale, which had a reputation for powerful relics. And it was here that she encountered Randall. And when she explained her goals to the old man, he told her of the legendary Ember of Destruction. It was a relic hidden in the dangerous lava tubes below the Julesvale mines. Artemis was up for the challenge and headed out for the relic. And much like the other thieves, after a quick encounter with the villainous Badger Co., she found the legendary relic. She could feel the power of it immediately, and knew it would do quite well for her mission, even wondering if she could use it herself to take the throne. And in order to test its full potential and perhaps feed her own ambitions, she headed to the oasis in the mines to test the limits of her relic. And back in the present, Randall explained his side of the story in a maybe less truthful version. So Fleet agreed to go back into the mines, find the thieves, and steal back the relics for Randall. Meanwhile, Hymir finds Olympia injured in the lava tubes, and seeing her defenseless, has a change of mind about hurting Olympia. Instead, Hymir helps up Olympia, and it's explained that she of course doesn't have the Breath of Life, but rather Randall made that up so Hymir would take out Olympia before she found anything incriminating about Randall, as she's been very suspicious about his activity and the source of the darkness. When suddenly, Fleet appears on the scene, battles Hymir really quickly, doesn't really win, but does steal the Shield of Courage right from Hymir's grasp. And for the sake of not making this video too repetitive, pretty much the same exact thing happens to both Artemis and Slade. They also encounter Olympia while she's doing research in the mines, and just like Hymir, Fleet came out of nowhere and stole the relics. Also, Olympia and Slade found out that Amathor is actually real, and
Fleet is very good and is very anti-capitalist and all that kind of stuff. She's also like 18 years old and very stupid, unfortunately.
Alive, which is pretty cool. Anyways, Fleet is successful and brings back the 3 relics to Randall, who then tells Fleet of an ancient ritual he wants to perform in the catacombs below Julesvale.
That's me.
Although it's extremely suspicious, she agrees to help protect him on the way to the altar, as there's tons of monsters in the crypt. Eventually, the pair reach the ritual site, with a large sealed door. Now, Fleet is of course very concerned about this so-called ritual, as this is a very suspicious setting, and of course Randall reveals the truth, transforming into his true form, the Necromancer. Randall and his fellow champions had sealed the darkness of the abyss below Julesvale thousands of years ago, and thanks to the Breath of Life, Randall had endured the years, and seen the peace they fought for break down due to the greed of the people. In order to make lasting peace in Aether, Randall plans to reopen the seal using the 4 shards, and harnessing the power of the darkness, he alone can make the perfect world lacking greed. Fleet realizes that this guy is absolutely nuts, and runs back to the surface before being taken out. However, Randall's plan is in full swing. All of those who were hoarding Obsidian have gone under dark transformations and are now under the influence of the darkness. So the city quickly became overran with Obsidian-possessed soldiers of the Necromancer. So those who weren't under control ran to seek shelter in the mines below. And it's here that the 4 protagonists meet up again at the refugee camp. And despite Fleet making a complete mess of everything, after she explained her side of the story, they agreed to work together to stop Randall. And after her extensive research, Olympia explains that the reason the darkness has been seeping out, and this emergence of this new ore, Obsidian, is because each of the champions held on to the power of the shards. Their greed led to their downfall, and if each shard had been left in the seal, then the abyss could have never leaked out, and it would have been locked in there for eternity. And while Olympia protects the civilians in the mines, the 4 protagonists head back to face Randall and put a stop to the scheme once and for all. However, when they arrive, they find that Randall has yet to open the abyss. He can't bring himself to part ways with the Breath of Life, the source behind his very existence. When suddenly, the shadows from beyond the door grasp the Breath of Life from Randall's hands, and burst open the doors.
Owned.
And the horrors from the abyss formed into a monster known as Avarum, the Sin of Greed. It's revealed that Randall's plans were actually the plans of the darkness beyond the seal, as they had slowly corrupted his mind over the years. Avarum explains that the Abyss creatures are the rightful inhabitants of Aether, and have been plotting their escape for thousands of years. He mentions another Abyss monster, Envis, from the Godai Delta, which brings up another theory/speculation part about the source of the Abyss. There's heavy implication that Avarum is the Abyss representation of the Sin of Greed, and Envis, the culprit behind the events of Rivals 1, who takes the form of other people, was the embodiment of envy. This of course implies that there are 7 abyss monsters that represent the 7 deadly sins of the world, each of which are sealed away underneath the earth in different parts of Aether. And Avram is finally free, and is surprised to see that the new champions fight alone without the help of the Titans. Despite the odds being severely stacked against them, the 4 elemental heroes fought back against Avram, and one of the coolest final boss fights ever. I mean, I absolutely love the song, it's so good. Anyways, the heroes are actually able to fend off Avram, as he had wasted too much of his essence making obsidian for Randall's plot, and wasn't at his full power. And quickly, before he could recover, the 4 heroes grabbed the shards and sealed away Avram once again. And this time, they agreed they had to leave the power of the shards behind despite their temptation, and headed back to the surface to celebrate. And with the abyss sealed back again, the obsidian lost its power and Julesvale went back to normal. And the 4 heroes all split up on their own journeys. Now for the post-credit scenes. Artemis returns to the Fire Capital to give a report about the encounter with Avram, but Emperor Loxodon informs Artemis of a new, more pressing mission. Prince Zetterburn had turned traitorous and fled to the Godai Delta. He tasks Artemis to take out and execute his treasonous life. And despite being doubtful of Loxodon's claims, she heads out to the Godai Delta. I think that shark's gonna get added to Rivals too. He begins sailing towards Merchant Port, and realizes that Orkin had been hoarding obsidian not because he wanted it, but to protect the people of Merchant Port from the Abyss's influence. And on his journey to Merchant Port, he begins to smell smoke in the distance, implying that he's arriving to Merchant Port right after Zetterburn had burned it down. Hamir and Olympia mend their burnt bridges, and agree to work together in their hunt towards the other wellsprings of darkness across Aether. They know Avram's only the first of many, so they head towards the center of Aether to find and help Crag, who they believe is also on the same mission. And lastly, Fleet and Iola agree to keep working as partners to try and stop Badgerco's evil plans, and Fleet mentions that after she stops Badgerco, she plans to find more rivals to fight, basically meaning she's in Rivals 2. Also, Eliana appears in the background, no dialogue or really any importance, but a cool cameo. And that is pretty much the story mode for Dungeons of Aether. I think it's a really good story mode, has a lot of foreshadowing and world building, and sets up future Aether Studio titles.
I want Eliana to come back so badly, and I know she's going to, but I can't wait till the day she does. But you know who else I want, chat? You know who else I want? I want Ayala as her own character. I want Ayala as a character that plays like fucking Snake from Brawl, or like from Smash Ultimate or whatever. Just like a gadget-based character throwing around all kinds of gadget-based shit. Not a mech character like Bowser Jr. or Eliana, but like a fucking gadget-based character, like making little gadgets on the fly and throwing them around and shit. I want that so fucking badly.
But anyways, there is still a little bit of lore left. This will be the final chapter, but I'm going to be breaking down the Tales of Aether comic, which follows one of my favorite characters, Clarin, the Flame Salvation. First off, I highly recommend that if you are interested in Aether lore, to purchase the comics yourself, read through them, and support
want these
Aether
comics
Studios.
So bad.
So hopefully they can make more stuff like this in the future.
I want the physical version
because this will be mostly
bad.
a story or plot summary, and skip some of these smaller character development stuff. Anyways, Tales of Aether, Future Imperfect, takes place at some point in the dystopian future version of Aether, where the champions of Aether never escape the abyss below. In this timeline, Emperor Loxodon takes control of the Firelands and expands his empire across Aether, destroying the Air Armada and all that threatened his reign. And in fact, using advanced technologies, he managed to create a robotic body to extend his mortal life, earning him the title of the Eternal Emperor. However, because Loxodon lost the Rite of Fire years ago, the people of the Fireland's connection to the flame had slowly disappeared, and even Loxodon can only simulate firepower through technology such as plasma weapons. Despite their elemental connection being severed, Loxodon expanded the Flame Imperium across Aether, and thousands were displaced from their homes and forced into refugee camps and reservations on the outskirts of the Empire. And specifically, our story follows one such reservation and one child named Clarin. Clarin and her mother Clarissa are descendants of Clayn, the former leader of the Smoke Clan, and also Forsburn, the exiled prince and rightful heir to the throne. And perhaps because of Clarin's connection to Forsburn, she had been blessed by the Divine and was born with the power to still have a connection to the flame. However, to not arouse suspicion, she was forced to hide her powers in the camp, and despite the poor living conditions, they had to live. Because Loxodon lost the Rite of Fire years ago, the people of the Fireland's connection to the flame had slowly disappeared, and even Loxodon can only simulate firepower through technology such as plasma weapons. Despite their elemental connection being severed, Loxodon expanded the Flame Imperium across Aether, and thousands were displaced from their homes and forced into refugee camps and reservations on the outskirts of the Empire. And specifically, our story follows one such reservation, and one child named Claren. Claren and her mother Clarissa are descendants of Clayn, the former leader of the Smoke Clan, and also Forsburn, the exiled prince and rightful heir to the throne. And perhaps because of Claren's connection to Forsburn, she had been blessed by the Divine and was born with the power to still have a connection to the flame. However, to not arouse suspicion, she was forced to hide her powers in the camp, and despite the poor living conditions, they had to lay low. One night, Claren would get a vision of her ancestors, Forsburn and Clayn, speaking to her. She receives a cryptic message from the two, telling her to find her mask. She awakes in the middle of the night and looks to find her mother, who's panicked outside of the tent, when suddenly explosives go off around them. Although Claren, her father Doran, and her two siblings Issa and Ren all managed to survive the destruction, sadly, Clarissa was crushed by the rubble and didn't make it out alive. No one knew the true story behind the explosion at the Ashenville reservation, but some heard rumors of regular purges occurring in other reservations, all orchestrated by Loxodon to keep the population in check. Devastated and full of hatred, Claren decided to make it her life goal to rise the ranks of the Flame Imperium and kill Loxodon herself. And years later, after Claren grew up, she decided to apply to the Flame Imperium military. At the nearby recruitment center, she met up with 3 other skilled applicants, Goss, Royce, and Burnett. And in order to join the military, the 4 of them had to pass this sort of My Hero Academia type challenge. So the 4 of them worked together to beat this obstacle course and impress the administrators, landing them all positions on the same ranger unit together.
I could also see one of these characters getting added. I don't think so. Maybe Burnett, if any of them, but I could see it.
So, for a few years, they worked together as a ranger unit, conducting missions across Aether in the name of the Flame Imperium, such as a raid on the Water Trade Company. And it was clear that the 4 of them were an incredible team and had many successful missions, even garnering the attention of the Fire Capital Royal Guards, who were possibly looking for new recruits. And although Claren wanted to join the Royal Guards to get closer to and eventually kill Loxodon, it would mean abandoning her squad mates. After agreeing to say no to any offers with her team, that night she would get another vision from Clayn, who is worried that Claren is straying from her path to kill Loxodon. She warns Claren to not get too attached to her new life as a soldier, and if needed, she must sacrifice her new life for the greater good. The next day, their squad was tasked with a new mission to apprehend a high-priority target, a terrorist known as Malo.
Malo is also another workshop character that got added into the game that was originally like a community character. Who again just got like put into the comics even. I love that they just took these community characters, added them to the game and made them like really relevant to the lore like this. Also, yes, a moth that's blessed with the power of fire that uses that power to throw fire bombs and stuff because it's a moth attracted to the light is such an insanely like goated concept.
Malo was notorious for attacking and blowing up remote Imperial outposts and causing chaos with his large arsenal of explosives, even being known to attack reservations like the one that Claren had grown up in. They located Malo in the western wastelands, in the wreckage of an old Air Armada airship, and suspecting an ambush, Malo set off a flashbang and proceeded to unleash a chaotic frenzy of explosives. Chaos ensued, and Malo actually was destroying them pretty hard, 1 versus 4, until suddenly, Claren decides to use a little bit of her fire to light one of the explosives still in Malo's hand. Malo then proceeds to get jumped by the other squad members who didn't even realize what Claren had done, while Malo is blown away to have witnessed somebody who still has the connection to the flame. Claren attempts to interrogate Malo, wanting to know if he was the one responsible for his mother's death. However, Malo is still in shock and passes out, giving no closure to Claren's grief or anger. And more determined than ever to get revenge on Loxodon, she decides to take the opportunity to accept a Royal Guard's offer to become a Royal Guard herself, despite her promise to her squad mates. Sometime later, the day of the Royal Guard ceremony had come, where she would be given her plasma saber in front of Emperor Loxodon, and she planned to use that opportunity to cut him down where he stood. So, in front of the large crowd of Flame Imperium citizens and the Emperor himself, she revealed her true nature, swearing to kill Loxodon here and now. Amused, Loxodon called off his security drones, and decided to face her one-on-one, to set an example for all of those who defy his rule. And despite her confidence, she got absolutely destroyed. Loxodon did not hold back, and even brought out this fire axe which looks super badass, and then eventually grabbed Claren and slammed her to the ground, destroying her tech and leaving her completely defenseless. Despite making it her life goal to kill Loxodon, she got completely bodied in front of everyone, and was quickly captured and sentenced to be executed. Claren began to break down in prison, being both physically and mentally defeated, when she was approached by a mysterious figure. The cloaked individual revealed herself to be the master engineer known as Ayala. much like Loxodon.
I haven't actually read the comics. I didn't know that fucking Ayala was still around and is the one who sends her back in time. What? That's cool. I didn't know that. That's cool.
She had survived due to her mostly non-organic body that she designed for herself and Loxodon, as the Eternal Emperor needed eternal maintenance. Ayala feels immensely guilty for helping create the dystopian world they live in now, and sympathizes with Claren's cause. She reveals that Loxodon had her build a time machine, so they could eventually go back in time and bring the Rite of Fire back to the future, to empower the Empire once again and take control of all of Aether. Claren doesn't really believe the story of time travel really existing, but Ayala convinces her that it's possible to go back in time and take out Loxodon before he became invincible. And without any other options, she agrees to the insane plan. The two escape the prison and are chased down by Loxodon's guards. Ayala warns Claren that once she's sent into the past, she can't come back to the future. And with the guards on their tail, Claren makes the hasty decision to agree to go to the past and leave behind her friends and family. And to her shock, it was actually successful. Claren made it back to the past, and instead of foolishly deciding to face Loxodon one-on-one again, she makes it her goal to find and rescue the champions of Aether. And that's basically the plot summary of Tales of Aether. It really sets up for the Rivals 2 story mode, where I'm sure Claren will eventually come in contact with the champions of Aether and probably end up saving them from the Abyss, since obviously in their timeline, they never escape the Abyss. And that about covers it for everything we know currently in the Aether universe. We've covered all of the main games in the story, besides maybe Lovers of Aether, and we've pretty much covered every major character. Although, I feel like we're missing someone. Someone really important. Guadua, the biggest, baddest panda to ever be seen in Aether. I mean, it's kind of hard to say if Guadua is actually canon or not, since she's not technically part of the actual base game, but she is playable in Creatures of Aether, which is canon.
So Guadua is an example character that they made for the workshop when they first released the workshop. She is technically like a fighter made by the Rivals of Aether dev team. She's just not like actually in the game. She was just a character that was put on the workshop that's like, you know, has like all of her files so you can like learn how to make a fighter from her. But she is technically like a character they made, and yeah, she is in Creatures of Aether and stuff, so.
Although she has like no lore in it, so really we don't really know where she's from. Now my fan theory is that she's from the same place as this character named Minto, who apparently comes from a distant land, but yeah, we don't really know.
A girl, yeah.
Oh, also Palm exists in the future, and she's like a pop star in Neo Julesvale. Yeah. So we have officially completed the Rivals of Aether lore breakdown. There's a lot to unpack here and still many unanswered questions. If you have any questions or theories, let me know in the comments below. Things you like about the story, things you don't like, that's cool too. And before I end the video, if you're interested, I linked 2 different lore related discords in the description below. So if you want to join in and talk about Rivals of Aether lore, then you can go feel free to join those. Definitely not the video you guys expected from me. Regular videos coming soon, and thanks for watching.
Anyway, that's the insane lore of Rivals of Aether. Do you feel your brain exploding a little bit because you didn't think that the funny furry fighting game had that much lore? It has a lot of lore. It has a lot of lore. Probably arguably too much. Hold on, I want to show you Palm real quick because she didn't really get touched on. She's from Clarion's future. She's a pop star in Clarion's future. That's really the only thing we know about her lore-wise, but... Give me a second. But she is one of my favorite characters in the in Rivals of Aether 1. God fucking damn it. Hold on, 1 second. Okay, sorry, my headphones are breaking. Okay, they still sound like they're breaking right now, but whatever. Local. We'll do practice. So, Palm's great. We love Palm. Wait, does it? Oh, I don't remember that. It plays a noise when you select them. And Palms is a crowd cheer. That's cute. Anyway, there it is. There's default colors. Say 217. It should be 218. No clue. Here, we'll do merchant port so I can show you what I mean with the old merchant port. It's got the fucking the water wheel up here. Where was Shovel Knight in the lore video? He's not real. Anyway, Palm is great. She has Peach's float. She can't. It's not quite the same as Fleet's, because Fleet like slowly falls. She just holds it. And she can only go up or down, or like left or right rather. She can't go up or down in any way, shape, or form. But she's great. She's got this like mechanic where she can like sing herself a little like shield and then like send those out as projectiles, which is kind of cool. I think she can like empower abilities with them too. I don't totally remember. She's a little weird when it comes to all of that stuff. I don't totally remember everything she can do with it. But I know that her side B sends out one of her bodyguards, which I always thought was cute. She like, you can see she like gets on her cell phone and calls in a dude after a second. She's very Zelda in that way, like Smash Ultimate Zelda, sending out the Phantom guy. Oh yeah, she has this where in this one she can, whenever she makes this, whenever she floats, she can go up or down in it. She can like move all around in it, but only in this. Otherwise she's only moving left or right. I think that's her neutral B. No, is that her down B? Yeah, it is. So that's a thing. And then she has I think this is also Zelda's up B. I can't remember whose up B this is. This is somebody's up B. It like turns her into like a little like orb. Can she only have one cloud at once? Yes. If you try it again, you just do this. You just sit down. Like you just sit down and nothing happens, because that's her like crouch. I don't remember what all it does. It does something, but it does like something special, but I cannot remember what. I want to say maybe her smash attacks are better in it, but I can't remember. Oh yeah, her down smash. Hold on, let me send this away. Her down smash is great. She does a steppy. It even makes like exclamation marks, which I really love. Her up smash is great. She like shoots, or like she like screams out, which also does exclamation marks. And then her side smash is she hits you with the mic stand, which I quite like. I want to say she has something special with let me go to her training. I really want to say she has something special with the thing. Palm bends sideways her will and floats effortlessly over stage, keep pressure on her opponents. Most iconic ability is floating. Hold jump while falling to make her hover in the air for a few seconds. Do this once per air time and still be fully actionable, meaning you can attack and dodge while floating. Also instantly float by tapping down while holding jump. You can do this during jump squat too, so you can float right above the ground. Try out floating for a while. After that, try some aerials while floating. Yeah, you can literally just have her. You can just have her float in the air. Like if I just instantly hit down, she'll just float. And like, I can just do my back air really easily. I really wish that, like you can do any of your air moves basically on the ground. I really wish that, Fleet had this. Like she technically does. You can do like low distance floats, but because Fleet like slowly floats down, if you start floating like, if you start floating like, here with Fleet, she's gonna float down really quickly. So 3 separate types of attacks. Sure. Sweet. Look at me being strong where they're down special creates a harmonic field. On inside the field, she can float up and down as well. That agility to follow up on attacks and combos with aerial moves much easier. Try floating D special's field to combo me with at least 2 aerials. Oh. There we go. Also enhances the recovery while using up special inside the field will prevent her from going into pratfall, restores her float. Oh, right. So if you jump and do her thing up here and then do up B, she doesn't, like, if I do up B normally, she goes like that darkened color. That's called special fall or pratfall in this. That means that you can't do anything. All you can do is control where you're falling. That's it. You can't press any buttons. You can't air dodge. You can't do anything. You are totally and completely inactionable. But if you do the up B in her field, it eats it, but you get your float back. Like if you were like, hold on. No, that's not what I meant to do. If I do it here and then I float and then I go up and then I do it again, I have my float back. So you special again after this perform a much weaker version that always puts you in pratfall. Yeah. Palm's neutral special lets her sing a sustained note that queues up multiple projectiles. Longer you load special, the more notes you queue, up to 4. Use neutral special again with at least 1 note. You'll fire all notes one by one. You can use other attacks while they're still firing. Oh, right. This is the other thing that makes her insane. You can charge up these things, but you can like I can be like hitting hitting Orby here. I can be hitting Orby here and fire a thing as I'm doing it. There's no animation for firing one of these. I mean, there is if you just like stand there, but there's not really an animation for firing one of those, so you can just like do it while you're attacking. His name is Vince. Hi, Vince. He'll also block incoming projectiles. I forgot about that. He doesn't get down, Mr. President. Oh, oops. There we go. Yeah, that's all her special stuff. I thought she had something else with her down special, but she doesn't. It's just float. But yeah, Palm is cool. I hope she comes back. I mean, I know she will, but I want her back. Yeah, Molo, Hodan, Palm, and Olympia are the workshop 4, and then there's the character Guadua, who is technically another character, but she's a workshop character, so she doesn't technically count. She wasn't like officially added into the game, even though she was made by Aether Studios. I was gonna show you guys one more thing. Oh yeah, I was gonna show you guys my favorite character. Now that I get a chance to show this somewhere. Hold on, do I not have workshop on? No, I do. Why is it not? I don't want a buddy. Oh, right, you have to click this. Where is he? Yeah, here's Guadua. I'll show you her real quick. She is just a real character. She's a big nature panda. I have like 3 different Germa characters, I think. I don't remember everything Guadua does, but yeah. Anyway, she's cool, but not my favorite character. My favorite character in all of Rivals 1, who I wish would come to the first game, but definitely won't for obvious reasons, is Unregistered Hypercam 2. I kind of wish I was joking about that, but I really love Unregistered Hypercam 2. Also, welcome to Toluca Lake. So, Unregistered Hypercam 2 is a video camera who has a really interesting mechanic. So you see this spinning disc here? This is used in all of Unregistered Hypercam 2's attacks, right? So like whenever it's only not used in like, it's like forward tilt, I think, and that's it. It's used in its jab, it's used in its down tilt, it's used in its up tilt. It's forward tilt basically that doesn't use it. That's about it. I want to say that it's up air doesn't, its back air does, its forward air does, and its down air doesn't. Yeah, this is a workshop character. So this CD has a really cool property. If you can see behind chat, there's a YouTube play bar at the bottom. If I press down B, I rewind that play bar, and now my CD is like spinning, right? And that adds damage. Like, I do a lot more damage while it's spinning. And as the YouTube play bar goes, the spinning and thus the damage increase will slow down. And every time that I hit something, it also jumps the play bar forward a little bit. So you basically charge it up like a chainsaw, and then you spend its charge as you use it. In fact, you can see when I'm attacking, it's kind of jumping there. You can see it's like barely spinning now. And then it stops, and then I can recharge it, right? So that's cool. That's an interesting mechanic. Here's a more interesting mechanic. Unregistered Hypercam 2. I don't think Unregistered Hypercam is from there. Unregistered Hypercam is like an old meme. That's because that used to be the way you would record stuff on YouTube if you were trying to record games. I don't know if they made this character. If so, that's cool. But Unregistered Hypercam 2 has a very specific thing that I think is really cool. In addition, oh, this personified version of it. Yeah, I can believe that. So Unregistered Hypercam 2 has this really cool thing where when you do smash attacks, you send out the disc. You do a smash attack. You have a ranged smash attack with the disc, which is really cool. There's not really anything like that in Smash. That's not really a thing. But also, as you can see, I have to catch the disc. And if somebody is like hitting me and stop, like I'm going, ooh, I'm getting hit, ooh, ow, ooh, and I'm getting stopped from getting that disc. To wait for it to go away because it was pretty charged. There we go. It's just gone. That's it. I can still do all my attacks, but it's just gone. I'm now incredibly weak, and I can't do smash attacks. I'm trying. I just can't. It won't let me. I don't have the ability to do smash attacks anymore. If I do them, it just does my my tilts. If I die, I don't get it back. To get it back, I have to do down B. But I can't always like reliably it's not always reliable. Also, like I could lose it that way too. It's not always reliable that it'll be there. Like the bar down there has to buffer for me to be able to even get it back in the first place, and to get it back I have to fully charge it. So like it's actually a really big risk for me. Also, he has Sheik's needles, as they're called. This is Sheik's ability from Melee. Rano also has this, but they're in the flavor of YouTube stars. Remember when stars were a thing? And you can save them and hold them and then throw all 5 at once. But you can pull in all 5 stars, and they're like a projectile you can throw. I really like the up B. It turns you into like a glitchy version of yourself. It makes the Windows clicking noise, and it turns you into a glitchy version of yourself. And it lets you like just like float for a second, like just fly completely, which is great. And then down B is the thing, and then neutral B is the down B is the charge, neutral B is that, up B is the glitch thing, and then this side B is like a screenshot function that you can do, that will it like takes time to charge. So you can see, I'll tell you when it's ready. So this kind of works like Rob as well. So do you see how I have that blinking red light on me? That means my screenshot is fully charged. When I take that picture, now if I do it, it won't do anything. It takes like a really shitty version that doesn't do anything basically. But if I wait, and there's no bar for it or anything, but if I just wait and let it charge, now I have the picture again. That's a lot like Rob's laser. So like, unironically, Unregistered Hypercam 2 is a really, really fun character. If Rivals 2 ever gets workshop support, I am so desperate that somebody remakes this character. I really, really like this character. Also, he does something funny. Hold on. He does something funny. Have you tried Lorena? No, I haven't. I know she's getting added, but... So, Unregistered Hypercam 2, if you look behind me here... Let me see if I can get it. Hold on. I have to wait for it to charge. Okay, didn't do it that time. Hold on. Come on. Why is it not doing it? May have to let it charge for longer. Oh, I didn't know that's what the down smash was. That's sick. Wait, that's really sick. That's a really sick down smash. I've never used that. Fucking spinning the CD all around you. That's a sick as hell down smash. Does it like, oh, it continues even if you leave. Oh, that's good. That's good as hell. Okay. All right, now if I try it, I didn't do it. Sometimes when you do it, it'll like fake a Steam screenshot in the corner when you take a picture with unregistered Hypercam 2. All it does is like stun them and do a little bit of percent, but it'll like fake a Steam screenshot, and I like it when it does that. I don't even know if I have Lorena downloaded. Nope, I don't. I probably should have downloaded her. I'll probably try her at some point. I'm just not that interested in Lorena. She's cool conceptually, and I like that there's going to be a grappling character, but at the same time, I'm not excited for... I don't like the fact that she's an ant. I don't think it looks cool. I don't like it. Anyway, we've now gone 2 hours over how long I said I would normally stream because I have autism. I have Rivals of Aether autism. Sorry. Anyway. She's an ant named Queen. Is that her name? I don't know. Is that what Lorena means? She's in, here, I'll show how she works. I'll show who she is real quick. Real quick, I'll show who she is, because they held a contest. They held a contest to show the love for the workshop and how much stuff was in the workshop, because the workshop really did kind of like make Rivals of Aether 1. They held a contest that if you submitted a character under it, there was a chance that character would be put in Rivals 2, but whatever character wins is officially going to be put into Rivals 2, which means there will be 5 workshop characters in Rivals 2, including Lorena. The original 4 and like Palm Hodon and the other 2, and now Lorena. But yeah, this is them announcing that. They had some honorable mentions too.
Do you want to see more original characters in Rivals 2? Do you think the community can do a better job than us at moving the genre forward? Well, we gave creators that chance with the Rivals 2 Steam Workshop contest. Creators had 6 months to create an original character, with the winner being officially added to Rivals 2. Our development team played and reviewed over 80 submissions and ranked our favorites based on gameplay, visuals, and lore. Along with our winner, we chose 4 honorable mentions. Helios, the Unstoppable Piece. Owatsu, the Saponaceous Serpent. Yono, the Carrier's Honor. Badra.
This is the character I wanted to get in, was Badra. I'm sorry, I'm a sucker for the ninja aesthetic. I know it's like a doge or whatever, and I know that's kind of Reddit now, but like I'm a sucker for the ninja aesthetic and the like straw hat that's literally made out of like a big leaf, and the like Shiren the Wanderer ass clothes and everything. I'm just a sucker for this aesthetic. I really wanted Badra to get in.
The Golden Vagrant.
His neutral special has him flip a coin. It's great.
Our contest is Lorena, the Crowd Magnet.
This is a character I think Moonlily will get addicted to.
And our team. We can't wait to translate her grappling style to Rivals 2.
She's a wrestler character. She is a grappling character, which is already basically unheard of in Smash type games. But she's a grappling character. She's like a Latin American or like Mexican grappling character, like a luchador type character, who grapples and is an ant, and is like her, a bunch of her stuff has like the crowd hype her up.
Development on Lorena, but don't expect her soon. There are other characters already in development who will be joining before her. We are so happy with how this contest went, and we plan to keep embracing our amazing community going forward.
But yeah, she's pretty good. Anyway, but yeah, Lorena is gonna get added. I'm sad it's not Badra, and I don't like the fact that she's an ant, but it'll be fine. I just wish she had like a cooler design. It's not even the fact that she's an ant, really. It's just that she's an ant in like a leotard. Like, that's it. She's just got like a mask and a leotard. I wish, really, what would sell me on her is if she had like a big, like queenly like cape, you know, like one of those big like red capes with like the like white ruffles on it. Exact same clothing, but like a big like fuck off, like I'm the best, I'm number one, I'm queen of this I'm queen of this ring style cape. I want her to have a big fucking cape. That's it. That's my problem with her. Unironically, I just want her to have a big cape. But yeah, she is cool. But yeah, she's gonna be added. Oh, also, for anybody who I have evangelized this game to and who bought it, or who already owns it, like Moonlily, the cadence for characters coming out is going to be every 3 months, assuming nothing changes. That's what they said here. Roadmap in the future.
Rivals of Aether II is finally releasing next Wednesday, our final video term project, with free gameplay additions like new characters and new modes added over the years, just like Rivals 1. We have a lot of plans for the game, and we're excited to talk about our future.
Yeah, so this is the general roadmap for what's going to happen. The stages, story mode chapter 1, custom colors, buddies, which were a thing in Rivals 1, where you could have like a little pet that follows you around the map, basically. Training mode updates, lobby improvements, controller improvements, crew battle mode. I don't know what that is. I don't know what esports season 1 is either. 4 free new characters, because 1 every 3 months. Yeah, Halloween skins, which we already did, Rivals 3D, which we already did, and then Winter is coming up, etc., etc. But
together, more today.
Hey guys, I'm Dan Fernacey, the studio lead at Aether Studios, and this is the video you've been waiting for. Today, I'll be sharing about our post-launch plans.
Also, yes, that's actually how his name is pronounced. It's Dan Fernacey.
The main focus after any launch is going to be squashing bugs, keeping an eye on balance, and making sure that everyone who bought the game has a great experience. Other than that, first up is ranked mode. We've gotten some great feedback and data from our current iteration, and we plan to add new menus to better see your progress, as well as unique rewards. Meanwhile, our art team will be working to release a steady stream of cosmetic items to the shop.
Octopus, thank you for the follow.
As we detailed in our last 2 deep dives, once a month there will be an event that brings multiple skins tied to a new theme. We'll frequently be releasing groups of items too, such as our upcoming Halloween bundle, which will feature the Slasher Claren that we previewed last week. It'll also feature new skins for Rano and Zetterburn, as well as new icons and an emote. Tutorials are absolutely planned, and we hope to start on them shortly after launch, along with other training mode improvements. In the meantime, we developed a new player guide with a bunch of helpful information
I
that we
appreciate
hope
the
can
follow
ensure that
either
the
way.
new player experience is a good one. Our main hope with launch is that we're successful enough to bring back the team that started story mode. It is planned to come out in chapters that focus on different characters or different parts of the story. Chapter 1 is designed to be a linear platforming adventure that takes place directly after the events of Rivals 1, while the later chapters may have...
So now that you've seen the lore, you know that this takes place right after Rivals 1. I mean, he just said that, but like, now you have the context of where they are. They're underneath in the Abyss Cavern, see? Like you now understand why they're there. They're in the Abyss Caverns, trying to escape them.
Methods for the platform. Even if the game is successful, it will still take us some time to deliver Chapter 1. Our current plan is to release 4 characters per year. We plan to pull from the Rivals 1 roster, including the Workshop 5, as well as existing characters in the universe who were not previously playable.
Hold on.
The Workshop 5.
Hold on.
Our current plan is to release 4 characters per year. We plan to pull from the Rivals 1 roster, including the Workshop 5,
What do you mean the Workshop 5? There's 4 of them. I thought they meant Lorena. But I just realized that might mean Guadua. They might add Guadua, like, into Rivals 2 officially. I don't know who the 5th one could be. I don't know if they mean Lorena. Because like these were called the Workshop 4. Like that was like their name. That was the name for this pack, was the Workshop 4. Did they mean Guadua? That would be pretty sick.
As well as existing characters in the universe who were not previously playable, like Fleet and Loxodon. We'll also be designing some brand new characters, never before seen in Aether. We don't have plans for guest characters at the moment, but we won't say never on that.
I'm a little sad about no guest characters, but I'm also kind of happy about it at the same time.
Workshop is going to be a huge initiative. The move to 3D presents a lot of challenges, and we don't have the advantage of Yellow Afterlight from the Rivals 1 team, whose previous work accelerated our development. It is on our roadmap, and we have even done some foundational work, but we still expect it to take a year or 2. Just like with story mode, our success at launch will help dictate how quickly we can scale up our team in order to take on a big feature like Workshop.
So this is why I have bought every bundle, and I'm not joking. I want this game to succeed, and I want to give my money to this game to help them succeed. Like, actually, genuinely, I want this game to succeed. So like I bought the Halloween bundle, I bought the starter bundle, I bought the 3D bundle. I want to keep adding, or I want to keep like giving, you know, the little bit that I can, a little bit of like, you know, freely disposable income. I'm not going to go broke for it, but I want to send them a little $20 here, $15 here, whatever a month, just because I genuinely want this game to succeed so bad. Like, I don't really care about the cosmetics. So far, I've bought 2 packs that had cosmetics in them, that being the 3D bundle and the Halloween bundle, and I don't play any of the characters in them. Like, the Halloween bundle has Clarion, Zetterburn, and Rano. I don't play any of those characters. The 3D bundle has Crag, Rano, and Clarion. I don't play any of those characters. I only just now started playing Crag. And I don't know that I'm going to keep doing that. Like, I don't care about the characters or having the skins or whatever. I just want this game to succeed so badly. And I'm putting my money where my mouth is on it.
This may come as a huge surprise to you based on what I've shared so far, but we expect to come to console in 1 to 2 years.
Just
the main limiting factor
my
here
problem with Clarion is that I really hate her dash attack, like a lot.
That our console debut can feel like a definitive version of the experience. We care a lot about our competitive community, and there is so much that we are able to do with Rivals 1 considering how small our team was.
That's it. That'll do it. That's it. There we go.
We have big plans on how we could support Rivals 2, especially with Off-Brand being our co-publisher now. But you'll have to stay tuned for more news on this subject soon.
Anyway, that's the cadence for which they're going to release fighters and stuff. So yeah, I just hate Clarion's dash attack because she's all about spacing and about like she's all about like spacing, and she's all about like you know, like making sure you're exactly where you need to be, which is really cool and really interesting. But then you have the problem of like, oh, sorry, I like moved forward and pressed A little too quickly at the same time trying to do like an up tilt or whatever, or you know, I pressed up on my C stick trying to do an up tilt, and now I have dash attacked, and instead of moving like half an inch, I have jumped halfway across the stage to do my stupid fucking dash attack. God, I hate it. I hate her dash attack so much. I don't mind if Smash fans criticize this game, although like I haven't really seen anybody do so. I've seen some criticisms, but I've seen basically everybody be like, this game is hype as fuck. I just want them to have money to keep like to succeed and keep making the game. Anyway, I'm rating Velvet. I'm going to sleep or something. I don't know. I'm probably gonna play more Rivals actually, but yeah, I'm gonna go do things. Goodbye.
Oh! Did I scare you? Thank you for watching, and especially a big thank you to everybody in today's credits for their support on the stream. I hope to see you again soon. Bye!